Yo. Back up in the building for an off-the-cuff edition of Harry's Drinking Again podcast. We got some things to talk about, of course. We just jumping right into it, man. The viral news of Aaron Carter of the Backstreet Boys dead at 34, RIP. And we're going to get into that as well as a few other things, and we're going to have Steady on here in a minute and possibly brother Ray G as well. Copy link. And we're going to get into a couple other things, talking about celebrity deaths, this and that. And we had to do it. We had to go live, try to get some of this clout off this motherfucker. And you know what I mean? Salute. Where's DJ Steady's email? It's gonna be a slow show tonight. We're gonna take it slow, and I'm gonna share my screen. I also got some clips and some news clips that I want to play because this just happened a couple hours ago. It's going viral, trending everywhere, but I have some news clips already of the contradicting report. Some people say he died in a bathtub. One report saying it happened in a pool. And so we don't know yet, what the official narrative is. And I'm sure they're trying to comb that out as we speak. And probably by tomorrow morning, the public will be more informed about that. Let me play a little music real quick just to break up the monotony. I got to send out 2 emails and then we will get on with the business. Hopefully everybody's having a good Saturday night. Again, you're tapping in with the Harry's Drinking Again podcast. And it's just going to be a lit show, man. Off the cuff. Let me figure out what was DJ Steady's email here. Give me 1 second, make some things clear. I might be sitting here on dark, but tonight it might come through like a lot. That's right. Oh yeah, we're gonna share the screen and we're gonna do a couple things. We're gonna talk about Tupac tonight because Tupac was in a bathtub. He did, I think it was for Vibe or something like that, where he was covered up in jewels over his penis, and a lot of people say that's some sort of like a ritualistic sort of thing. A lot of celebrities have died in the bathtub. And I'm going to run down a couple of those as well. And we're going to play some more clips. Okay, here we go. Who They Want podcast. Okay. And, we're also going to be fucking around. Off the cuff show. We're still sipping on Thursday night's Pendleton. Don't get it twisted over here. We ain't doing nothing crazy, man. We're still sipping on Thursday night's Pendleton. Shout out. Working towards a couple sponsors. Let me say also, tonight I was supposed to be on another podcast, Ignorance is Strength, but the gentleman had to reschedule myself. So I was like, fuck it. I'm already in the podcast mode, so I might as well come on my platform and do an off the cuff show. Because I'll be damned if you get me hyped and excited for a podcast and then it don't follow through. Well, that's the beauty of it. That's what the off the cuff shows is all about. That is what the Off the Cuff show's all about. 152 subscribers in the building. Shout out. Let me take this Thursday night's thing off the screen because obviously it ain't a Thursday night. We're doing the Saturday night off the cuff edition. Off the cuff edition here. Hit that like, subscribe button. Like I said, 152 subs. We're getting up there. Thank you to the newest subscribers that we've had up in the building. And you know, I'm not going to be too crazy, too reckless tonight, but we are going to eat off the white boy. Here at Harris's Drinking Again, you know, I'm not going to go in on a black man's death, R.I.P. Takeoff. Even though I put his name in the title tonight, we're not going to go in on him. But anytime one of these white celebrities dies, that's what my I'm going to become known for. Is because you don't see a lot of the black bloggers talking about the white boys when they die. That's my job. So, you know, I might say a couple things later on that because I really don't give a fuck about a white guy dying, like a white rapper, or a white musician for that matter. But I know the world's gonna blow this up and make this into a big ordeal. And I've already watched a couple of news clips on it. And it's just weird how they try to spin the narrative. But without further ado, let me bring on a gentleman by the name of DJ Steady. This is a quick, he came through on the quick, man. I got a hold of him and I said, yo, man, I want to do a show, whoop-de-whoop. And you've seen him before here on the Harris's Drinking Again podcast. I believe that was TNR 039 or 8. You could catch him on the Who They Want podcast on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. He everywhere, man. And I was wondering, like, damn, who can I get? Who would my people want tonight to talk about this celebrity deaths, the viral death of Aaron Carter? We're gonna go into the Migos and see where the rabbit hole takes us. But coming to the stage now, none other than DJ Steady.
Hey, wah, wah, wah.
Go steady, go steady, go steady.
Hey, I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm here.
Yeah. It's happening all the way from Tallahassee, Florida.
I'm in the building.
Okay,
You know
I didn't want to get that wrong. I was like, yeah, Tallahassee.
Yes, I'm in the building, broski. You know what I'm saying? The DJ Khaled podcast is here. Why? Who they want did.
Who they want is who they want. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Man, thanks for coming through. And
Of
you
course.
know, I hit you up. I seen a post. You know, man, you're becoming my go-to source. I mean, I found out about, you know, RIP Takeoff from you. I'm talking about before any other source. And then I get off work and I look on my phone and you do another post about Aaron Carter. I'm like, this man is on top of his shit.
For real. You know me, I gotta, like, once it hits social media, I go and do what a true researcher does. Like, I go hit like multiple sources. You know, like they teach in college, I always cite multiple sources. So like, when it hit fresh, I need confirmation. I don't need, you know, allegedly. I need to know that this person is white. You know what I'm saying? Under the circumstances, gone. Like, so when I saw it, I was just like, stop playing. Because, you know, this is a person we hear about from the 90s era. And, you know, you may hear once or twice coming of age now. But the 90s kids, if you know Nickelodeon, you know, he was like that Nickelodeon rapper, you know, Aaron Carter type of dude. Nick Carter brother, if you was into the whole Backstreet Boys Renaissance era of that boy band thing.
Yeah. And, you know, I myself was, of course, I was a Backstreet Boy hater. I was an NSYNC hater. You know, of course, just growing up in the 90s rap era, I didn't fuck with Eminem / Slim Shady at first, but I like when he was even going at all the boy bands and stuff. Like I kind of
We
like
had
that.
to grow into him a little bit because he came out shaky. He was very shaky, and
Yeah,
then as we watched, Dr. Dre kind of really bring him to the forefront of hip hop's culture. You go, okay, now I can kind of salute you in a way. So yeah, it had its moment.
yeah, I like how he was a disruptor off the bat, though. I kind of sensed something there. Um, I didn't know much. The only thing I kind of messed with lately on Aaron Carter was I do watch a lot of his interviews, like I do with a lot of even Kanye. Man, it's like I know a little bit of his catalog, but I can't say I'm a Kanye. Like but I enjoy his mind from his interviews, and I think in this day and age, that's how it's almost like the like new track or the new rap. Like you come through, you drop an interview, and then someone like myself,
It, it's
I
becoming that now, like it because don't nobody talk about how hot your album is no more. It's about what can you say that we can micro size from an interview and then make that public. Like you're a big fan of Charleston White, you explained on my show, and he's been speaking out on it. And again, everybody kind of looking at him as a goofball, but like you said, sometimes you gotta look at the arterial motive of a person. Like maybe what I'm saying. I don't see it as a clout. I just see maybe a wise prophetic man letting you know from his point of view. If he really was about wiping somebody out himself, don't you think he would have killed the next black man? He would be adding to what he's already talking about.
yeah, yeah, we have to listen first. I think that's something I don't know much about Andrew Tate, but brother Ray G, tells me a lot about him, and that's one of the things that he speaks on is like everyone's so quick to just take that clip. We're all doing the shorts now, this and this, and so
Exactly, and that's getting publicized as a full interview, and then you be like, "Oh, he doesn't promote, all this whoop de woo," and I'd be like, "Bruh, see, that's your problem. Y'all too feeding into the negative zone. Like, I go back and get the full way, and then I study it, and then I study tones now. Like, I be looking at what is your energy source coming from, what is that conversation around it, you know, feed into before I just go guilty." And we love saying that word, right? He's a guilty verdict, cancel culture. I seen a dude recently on a TikTok scroll talking about burn Nike, boycott Nike over the whole Kyrie Irving anti-Semitism situation on this whole Jews and Gentiles war that honestly has been waging on way before our time, and now media is getting a hold of it and eating it up.
yeah, I don't like that whole obviously I don't like that whole thing of what's going on, and I feel like especially small content creators like ourselves, we're like the last stand because I've experienced being banned on Instagram for like 2 weeks, this and that, I guess just for making a post over the schmovid, and you can't even say the real words, right? And
Right.
you made a post recently where you put the man that's talking about them people in the title. You've already experienced that.
Right, I'll say it quick. He who shall not be named, or whatever I feel like it's involving. You know what I'm saying? I know how to use my context clues, but my audience know what I be referring to in the situation. Then once my guests get on and just say the full name, I'll be like, all right, so you took it there. I just opened the door, you walked through it and took it off the hinges. So let's go.
Yeah, I was listening to another content creator that I fuck with heavy, and he simply refers to them as the small hats. Now,
Mm.
now whether people can take that how they want, but the algorithm ain't picking up small hats yet. So I'm a roll.
Right, we can roll free right now. We are the free world right now. We're leaders of the free world.
Now. Shout out to all the small hats out there. I'm,
Salute.
I'm sure they're gonna come and try to take that one back. And then I haven't gotten into this rabbit hole, but I seen some bullshit about they're fucking with Kyrie Irving for not apologizing, or the only thing I seen I was on ESPN, the Brooklyn Nets are finding Kyrie for not. Oh my god, I forget the actual quoting of the word, but he could not definitively say that he was not an anti-Semitism or some
That word, right? That big word, right? Yeah.
like he and I just looked at that and I was like, oh no. That actually scared me because when they can start finding you for not fully apologizing, it's like or not accepting the truth that they want you to accept. Oh hell no. Like
This is the destruction of mankind. Initially, this is stage one, right? Because now we're dealing with we got to have that one way of thinking. And if you have a free mind and step outside of that box of man, I don't want to be a follower, I want to be a leader and have my own beliefs, which I thought we was entitled to our own belief systems and religion, freedom, and all these things. Now you telling me I got to follow this just because I don't believe in it and respect it? And then they put that word, that anti word in front of it, and next thing you know, it's what I'm saying. Then everybody goes, well, once Mister He Who Shall Not Be Named kind of opened that door, he ain't opened his door. This door was already open to Pandora's box. He just shed a little light on what was being darkened, and now Kyrie's basically getting the same backlash. It's been going on. We've seen it with Colin Kaepernick. We've seen it countless times with whoever is the target at that moment, and now Kyrie got to be the new, target for right now and carry that burden, carry that cross past the threshold of, am I going to play? They've been messing with this man since the whole, you know, everything been in the fritz since the 19 war been going on. They've been messing with Kyrie. They just don't want to see that man shine anymore.
you know, this whole thing makes me want to stand by. Sometimes I'm not even a fan of a person, but it makes me just want to support them regardless. And there's things about Aaron Carter that, I didn't listen to his music, and I guess he was coming out with some rap album. I listened to all his interviews. I resonated with him from the drug addiction, from some of the inner demons that it seems like he was experiencing, different sexual abuse that he might have gone through, fights with his family, and I think a lot of people resonated with his personal story, and we like to see a triumph, a story of redemption. So I did fuck with Aaron Carter in that regards, but I feel like deep down he was one of those men too, like one of those voices that had he gotten it right or gotten it together, he could have disrupted the system as well. And maybe he was on a path of doing that. And
once you do that, it's like once you find the final level, you know what I'm saying? Like once you find it and you're ready to come through that door, the assassin's already like, nah, bruh. You coming out with too much information that we just can't have relinquished. We've seen it, bro. You and I know. We've seen it countless times. Soon as you get to a certain stature in your career, or you feel like, oh, nah, the ropes, and there's a lot of ones that are protected by the elites in this scenario. You know what I'm saying? That they'd be like, all right, we'll give you a pass because you know how far to go with this situation. But when it comes to somebody like you said, like Aaron, who already had the whole battle, the family drama struggle, he was battling a lot of traumas, battling the addiction trauma. But like you said, once we saw him start to get some clarity and come out of it, boom, he's found dead. And then you go, really, Aaron Carter? And like you said, a lot of people weren't getting the messages that was coming from the messenger in his interviews. Now this is going to get its moment to come to glory. And now we got to put that famous word, conspiracy theory, attached to it and figure out what was the ultimate, purpose of this.
I love that. I love that. And that's something I want to delve into tonight. I know it's early on, and but I'm gonna have fun with this one because I haven't been one of those YouTubers that really jump on the thing because you go down the list and everything. But I do want to explore this, but also maybe at the end of it, coming out the backside, it's like we maybe even for the people that I'm sure you have people around you that maybe don't. They just kind of believe in the system. They're maybe more sheepish where you're over here looking in all the doors and all the boxes, so maybe we could come to some sort of clarity on the whole thing.
Let's go.
Now I will say for those just tapping in, we got about 3 people up in the building. Thanks to y'all.
Hey, shout out. I'll come through, support the live, man. Harris is drinking again on some serious tip. Tonight we drinking the truth.
Yes. Yeah, we're drinking the truth and, and having fun with it, but at the same time, we're getting dirty. Just for journalistic purposes, let me go ahead and just give a source. And this might not be the most. Oh fuck that! I'm not gonna read that source. People will laugh at me.
Right? I'll protect your source.
Yeah, you gotta like. Well, to see the first one that comes up, well, NBCnews.com, whatever. Um, you know, singer Aaron Carter died Saturday in his California home. His representative confirmed he was 34. Deputy Alejandra Para with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said deputies were called to his home on Valley Vista Drive in Lancaster just before 11 a.m. and found a deceased person. Further details were not immediately available. And then they released a statement. We're extremely saddened and shocked. This and this and this. Now, the details are very, very murky. Now, I want to go here and just play. I have two clips. Now, it's great when a story breaks, when it's like you listen to the different news channels and they're trying to get their story together. This first one is live now from Fox, where one source is stating that he was found dead in a bathtub. The other source is stating he was in a pool. So, and I feel like, again, my tinfoil hat's up here, but there's a whole conspiracy. Not just to say it could have been some natural causes, okay, whatever. But I do
because listen to this though, real quick. Like TMZ says, his body is found in a bathtub. Saying law enforcement tell TMZ they received a 911 call at 11 Saturday that the male had died in a tub. It also said that the homicide detectives has been dispatched to the scene, but we have no evidence or information of foul play. So why would you send homicide detectives if you ultimately see it's just basically a victim of someone laying in a tub drowned? Like, make that make sense.
That too. Okay, so that's two sources that said bathtub.
Now from Fox, singer Aaron Carter has been found dead inside his Los Angeles area home. This is according to TMZ. Now, the singer has died after an apparent drowning this morning. This is, again, according to TMZ. And a neighbor called paramedics to the home around 11 o'clock this morning to report a drowning. Now, according to LA County Fire, his body was recovered from the pool and he was pronounced dead.
From the pool?
If people won't catch, they ain't gonna catch that little line right there. That little mistake. Make your mind up. Which one is it? Is he in a tub or is he in a pool?
The home around 11 o'clock.
Now, the weird part,
news here on Live Now from Fox.
Now, I get it. Maybe you're a pool, you're looking over, maybe. But like, I'm trying to think, okay, if it was a neighbor.
Aaron Carter has been found dead inside his Los Angeles area.
But yeah, the pool. That's all we got to hear. And then
breaking news tonight, singer and reality TV star Aaron Carter has died. His management has confirmed Carter's death to ABC News. TMZ is reporting that police responded to Carter's house in
Now, this is two different news sources, but TMZ is their source, and they're getting ready to say it was a bathtub. They just said TMZ was their source, and it was in a pool.
Lancaster, California, after receiving a call that a man had drowned in a bathtub. Carter rose to fame as a child pop star in the 1990s.
So,
notice no images have hidden nowhere. There's no images. There's no video, right? Why is he so protected on that part now? Come on now.
Yeah.
PNB, Dolph, even with recently Takeoff, everybody's been leaking. All those are leaked immediately. As soon as they're known, you get clips, everything. All of a sudden now we're just going to put it as he was just found. Like, we really just going to close this out like that.
And that's that one right there is why I wanted you on this. Got some fucking spam shit in the motherfucking.
Yeah, that's trolls. Ain't worry about that part, but for real, because you gotta make that make sense. Like, so okay, let's just say worst case scenario. So if you're saying tub, you're saying pool. So my best guess would be he was in a jacuzzi tub. So that would maybe be more suffice.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and you're speaking of the wealthy. I think I just watched a No Jumper clip, and I think it was talking about he had a $1.3 million home or or some shit. I mean,
But he was on a come up. We know this. He's on a come up. He's on his. I even seen him labeled as musician, so that lets me know what stature he was upholding. He was doing a lot of behind the scenes work. You know what I'm saying? He was on his come up rise. And then today, 34, he's dead. We ain't talking about a man that was just so strung out he's depressed. We're not talking about he's homeless. This man know who he is. This man know where he come from.
yeah.
This man was living a good life. Even, you know what I'm saying? This man, he may not have had the best support system, but I felt like Nick loved him enough that if it was just really on some spaz out, he would get off tour and be like, I gotta look after my bro. You know, I would think maybe they had a relationship enough to pull that through.
Yeah. I was just listening to the No Jumper before we jumped on here. You know, just I listened to the first 20, 30 minutes and to kind of, because it was, I guess he just did it 3 days ago. And I was trying to gauge, he was pretty much in a very, as opposed to other interviews I've seen, he was very sane, very aware. He did have a little cup. He was sipping, you know, I'm sipping right now, whatever. But he was speaking. There were a couple moments in the interview where, you know, he called out, I guess, just people in the industry around him, you know, and prior he had claimed, you know, his brother Nick had an R case against him, and you know, different things. But he was mentioning like steps, you know, and he also, you know, talked about the Kanye thing and said he would. I don't like what he said really about Kanye, but he still gave him his props. But he said that he would, you know, destroy Kanye in a battle of dialogue. I was like, I would actually love to see that. I think Kanye would rip his ass open. But
all right, so we're talking about battling of the mind here too. Guys coming from a superior state of mind. So all this is in his last days of theory. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my mind of, I don't see this as no play. Because if that was the case, he would have been taking himself out like early 2000s. No disrespect to it, but I'm just saying, if he was really, you know what I'm saying, when we first saw that spiral, and I think there was some cases of him threatening suicide at one point in time of his career where he was like just done. But to get to 34 means you found a light, you found a walking purpose. And then I like what you mentioned on my comments about the whole Bobby Christina, well, Whitney Houston, Bobby Christina, like all these legends found in the same similar way, you know what I'm saying, in this bathtub drowning incident. And just like I said, I was telling one person, give it till later on this week and it becomes a rule suicide, drugs was found in his system. But the report just said there's no signs of foul play. There's no evidence that says, okay, so watch later this week as it develops. There's party favors everywhere, and he was, you know, high for some antidepressants and some other street drugs.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. A lot of times when these stories first break, whether it was back in the day, 9/11 or the Vegas shooter, you know, the news, they spend the first 8 hours, 12 hours, all getting their story lined up. And then like, it's usually like the next day, you start to see them all get in sync one after another.
Right.
You know, and shout out to Source Jedi in the building.
Hey, shout out. What's good, Source Jedi?
Man's got his own sound effect. It's a bad man right there.
Dope. I did.
Shout out Source Jedi. If I could, I want to share this. I want to share my screen real fast, and
go ahead,
because this is supposed to be Aaron Carter's last live video. I don't know. You know how people, you know, everybody's trying to get some clout right now. But I watched this earlier. Now, this kid just posted about an hour ago, or man, whoever the fuck he is. But it looks like, you know, he's definitely on something. I thought he was just on some good coke. He appears to be chewing some gum and everything, but he doesn't say a word. He doesn't say a word, right, for about 10, 15 minutes. And you see his eyes. And
definitely a little slurred.
Like, apparently this is like, okay, right here, it says up there, 7:50 on Halloween. This was Monday. and it's now Saturday. So this was about 6 days ago, or whatever, 5 days ago. But it's very actually awkward to watch. It's like it's just him. Is there a way I can forward this one? But he's just fiddling around with absolutely nothing. I don't even know if he knows he's on live because he doesn't say a fucking word. He plays some beats. He's over there. I got Tourette syndrome, so when I twitch my eyes and lick my lips, it's my tics and shit. But he looks a little out of it now. He has been under, he's under stress. He talks about going to court and all this shit. Got shit like that. But whatever.
Well, he spaced out a little bit. You definitely can see some traces, a little pupil dilation type of.
Yeah.
But then again, didn't we just see Justin Bieber with that face like a few months ago, saying he had some sort of thing going on? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, give me that type of vibes of when Justin Bieber announced like he had half his face paralyzed and he's got some sort of medical condition, but we ain't gonna get into that. It ain't about him. But it's just that video gave me that vibe of like whatever he owned, he was definitely very relaxed. And
almost too relaxed. Yeah. Now, sometimes I gotta give it to myself. Like I might just be reaching too much, and he could have just took one too many pills, and it happened like that. But when you go into like the masters, the people that own that, when you learn that you're worth more in death than you are in life.
There it is, right? There it is. That's the kicker, right? I was thinking that. I was in theory. I was coming with my speech. I was going to be like, record labels are now technically like the new funeral home. Like,
right.
Come on, management. This management has to confirm that he's dead. Like, it couldn't be sources of the family confirmed he was dead.
Right. Or, a so-called neighbor. It's like, why? Like, my neighbor, why? At that point, it'd be still my friend. If you could come check on me and see I'm dead, it's like, oh, his friend who happened to live next to him.
Thank you. Give me that proper respect, right? Don't put like management, really.
Yeah. Now the whole bathtub, whether it was a pool or a bathtub, most reports are saying bathtub is kind of an eerie thing in itself. Of course, the most famous Whitney Houston, and then her daughter dying like her, what was it, 5 years later, the exact same way.
Exact identical way, right?
Face down. Usually, you're in the tub, you're gonna slip back and possibly be found floating up. I mean, I don't know what happens to the body, but the whole face down thing makes me feel like she was like plunged almost, like,
You've seen enough horror movies to see that level of death and like that. Come on now. If you're by yourself, there's no way you got time to fill it up and then lay yourself. Like that gives you too much time to think and process.
And then didn't it happened in a hotel where just below they were having some industry party, and that old gatekeeper, was it Tommy Mottola or one of them, was having a party downstairs when she was upstairs dead, and they knew that she was upstairs dead in the bathtub, and they left her there and they continued the party.
That was an SVU move, right? Somebody did that and got up out of there.
Man, that shit right there. And then this infamous pic of Tupac, kind of, suspect. Pause, everybody. Jesus, I didn't know that. Hey, man, I'm sorry, but I didn't know Tupac was like zesty like that, bro. That picture right there is a little.
But people really have that conversation. I think that'll be like a later future podcast about it, because it's been a lot of videos that gave a lot of those vibes of him being in that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the Masonic. Well, I don't know. This appears to be some blue tile, but they use a lot of the Masonic floorboards, and Tupac seen here wearing some sort of Masonic black and white shirt. Yeah, that would be a great topic, regardless, in the future. But so after seeing all that, seeing Aaron Carter's last, ultimately, do you think that, just off the top, we're dealing with foul play in some form or fashion?
I definitely could feel foul play, because if that recent video that we just watched was related to Halloween, then I feel like him and Takeoff would have made the same type of exit vibe. It would have been, they may have been hours apart or a day or so apart, but I feel like it would have been more on some like if he was that spaced out. So that means somewhere he had enough consciousness. Because like you said, he probably just wasn't aware that he was going live, but he was just giving y'all a hint of maybe this could be the last. And maybe somebody could have been setting it up to play it like that, right? Like I'm gonna record him while he's zombified, and then because again, as the week develops, the stories is gonna come more and more out. Then they're gonna be like, well, according to the coroner, his body's been in there for days. So then it'll go back to the whole Monday of the last video, and then it'll correlate, right? Like, let's be detectives on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long was his body found unresponsive? Gonna be the ultimate question. Because if Monday he's slurred, and then Saturday he's found officially dead, he had to be laying there for, you know what I'm saying? Body had to be there for some hours of time period.
Yeah,
I would have felt better if today would have said he checked himself into some medical treatment and then maybe, spazzed.
right. Yeah, and I don't know how long ago he did the no jumper. Adam just put it out 3 days ago, but you figured out that probably was in the last week or two.
Related, right? But I'm just saying, like, it's easy to always give the negative, points, right? Let's give them in his slurred view. Like, that could have even been a super old clip that just submerging now from a time period where he probably was super spaz. We don't know his current, you know what I'm saying? His current look of that. I'm just saying, like, speculators, the media is the most beautiful genius in the world because it can paint it up and make it as real as they want. We've known that. We're movie buffs. The power of $1 million budget and make things look good. I'm just saying, people, come on now. Y'all know y'all be thinking the same things that we talking about tonight. Don't sit there and say, and we ain't gonna go too far, like he said, down the rabbit hole, but it's enough to make you think critical. Why is there no picture submerging of the way his body was found? You know what I'm saying? I need at least some sort of figurative imagery of this position that he's in.
Yeah.
Just to kind of put it together.
Yeah, there would be something. And I do feel that, we got to take it racial as well, man, because let's don't sugarcoat. Like, if this was a black man,
you would have got a full ensemble. There would have been full pictures, full nudity, full pictures of this black man. You would have had drugs present at this scene or a gun. There would have been something. Come on now.
Look what they did to Kobe Bryant in the helicopter crash photos.
Didn't give no peace. Didn't give that family no peace, man. Yeah. That was heartbreaking.
And I'm sorry, but in that case, man, those filthy pilgrims deserve probably way more than what happened to them, man. Scum like that, man. I'm assuming they're pilgrims.
Facts, man. This grimy. Have we gotten is clout that bad now? Like, we can really, you know what I'm saying, make you famous for these most ultimate harshest moments. Like, was it really necessary for Takeoff's whole clip to be released like that publicly?
Yeah. What trips me out about, maybe let's transition into that first, into Takeoff for a second, because I didn't really talk about that one at all.
We will stay out of it for respectful purposes. I understand as content creators, we don't go, you know what I'm saying, we don't follow the trends of we got to speak. But there's just too much that got my mind puzzled on it that I'm just like, because I watched the video, the little clip, and I'm rewinding and I'm listening to the conversation that Quavo's having prior to it. And I was like, okay, so the media put it out, it was over a gambling issue. If you listen to the conversation, the brief confrontation Quavo was having, it wasn't about the dice game.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was off dice.
I heard several different things, but they were arguing possibly about a football or something like, I don't know what it was.
I feel like he was being challenged. I feel like it was one of those bros versus, it was an ego contest. I feel like it was that. Because I feel like Quavo losing in the dice would be like, bruh. And then from what I'm hearing of, the guy maybe want to be like, all right, put me in the ring. I'll beat you at that. So, guys pick out different sports.
Oh, yeah.
And then basketball came up because the last thing I heard was Quavo was like, you don't want to see me in basketball. You already see what I can do. Don't take it. And then he was like, I guess Quavo probably got a glimpse of the gun handle. It was like, all right, bro, let's go. And quickly was like, bro, let's go. And not paying attention where his nephew was positioned. You know what I'm saying? Then you see this rush, and then shots are fired, and then Takeoff's immediately on the ground.
I just rather be alone.
Yeah. Yo,
writing poems. When I get in, I take a shower.
that shit happened so fast. You know, that clip is eerie because it's like it's almost unbelievable. Like, and then you see the other part where Jay Prince Jr. is walking past his lifeless body,
Mm.
and I'm like, damn. So those shots, pop, pop, and then that's it. I mean, that 7-second clip, life was taken away, like over nothing, man. You know, the trip part is there ain't no word. Even a white person called me the N word with the hard ER, right? And they still,
Right.
you know, I've been called that, you know, my waffle color ass, you know. They know, you know, that,
We face that, right? We face those terms. We do.
yeah. And it's like when I was younger, I would fight off top on that shit, but there's no words that really
Trigger us anymore. I feel like it rolls off now. Like, you know what I'm saying? To really just get you in a violent mood. We'll just walk out like, I'll let you have that. You know what I'm saying? Because we're older now. Like you said, as a younger portion of you, anger would have been like right there. You'd be quick to go Raphael mode. Now as a Leonardo mode, you're like, I got patience now, bro. You cool. I'm gonna let you have that, bro.
you gotta be able to, you know, live to see another day. That shit's so real.
Because to be honest, I went back to the Drink Champs interview, right, which was the last interview that they recently did, and I'm like, I'm looking for something triggering. Because if he was hanging out with Jay Prince, and you know they got Jay Prince and got heavy love for Drake, right? So let's just pan this card out, right? You know, a conversation came up about basketball again, a Quavo an argument and basketball. You know, mob ties and Drake. Drake got a song called "I Got Mob Ties." I'm not saying Drake's responsible for this, so let me tread carefully. What I'm saying is that affiliation with Drake was pretty heavy. You're at Jay Prince's Jr.'s birthday party or this little after hangout, whatever, whoop de woo. You know, you out of your comfort zone. You in another person's city, you know, but you about making money because you got that hustlers mentality. So you're like, I play a cup game. Losing 7,000 in the dice game, like I spend more than that on jewelry. Like you could have doubled that up in no time. You could have got a feature. I just think it was some speculative type of things of again that marked ones type of situation. I felt like it was a setup. Like I felt like both of them was marked for death. I feel like both of them would have been marked for death in that particular incident. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. I accept full responsibility and accreditation for what I'm saying. So I'm just saying I feel like they was both marked for death, and at that time period, they couldn't really lock eyes or pinpoint on Quavo because he was too ahead of the crowd to really get him. And you know, Takeoff being more like closer by the shooter, it was like easier to do that because you know the first thing was like he was already shot by their mans. I'm like, I don't really see you that scared of nobody's gonna have a scary shooter with them.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's bringing a hair trigger shooter to a gambling event. Like you don't take those type of shooters with you.
Right.
In fact, if you know it's all love and ain't nobody on that type of vibe, you probably wouldn't have no shooters with you at all. So I don't feel like dude was probably in their clan. I mean, he could have been because Quavo haven't spoken. I know he shook up. It's a lot of depression on him right now. But in order to get the truth, it has to come from him in order for us to know what really went on that transpired within that moment. But right now, to be used against him in the court of law. But I'm just looking at it as like, if I'm hanging out, you know what I'm saying? That's like hanging out in Harris's drinking again club, and even though you my homie or whatever, but at the same time, something might pop off in that club with somebody that you may be affiliated with. I ain't saying they your team, but you affiliate with these people. But me and them get into a scuff, and somebody from team who they want might have pulled the gun and might have just been like, all right, this is what it is, but don't nobody fire. And next thing you know, maybe somebody bumps them in the club, you know, that bump, and then the shots are fired, then retaliation maybe.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're responsible for what happened? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make you nor I responsible. What happened was things got heated and it's hard to put the puzzle together. It's the same thing with Tupac and Biggie, right?
Yep.
It's the same correlations. Like nobody was the bigger man. Like you look at all the recent interviews, even after he died, Biggie was on some like, bro, we just gotta sit down and just meet head face to face. We can't control the team do. I can only control what you and I do.
Yeah. One of my questions is with this Jay Prince Jr. character is like, first of all, it was a private event off top. Now, to my knowledge, I thought if I was in traffic and I seen somebody get in an accident close to me, I thought I couldn't even pull off, right? I thought if you witness an accident, you're technically not supposed to leave. And
right.
If it's big enough. Now, this man's clearly on camera walking by a dead body. Now, but not just that. Why wasn't that place secured? You know, as soon as there were shots fired and police showed up, usually they block it off, yellow tape it and everything, and like start questioning motherfuckers. The fact that you could just slip out, and then maybe he's been questioned behind the scenes this week. You know, we don't know. I haven't seen him.
Did you watch the WAC 100? There's a WAC 100 where WAC 100 is on the phone with him, and his biggest claim was he's on parole. There's a video clip out where WAC 100 is talking to Jay Prince Jr. He was like, I'm on parole, and he was trying to let him know how flawed he was.
So I heard a little thing. That was Jay Prince Jr.?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm slipping. Okay. Saying you. Okay, I think I heard a little something like that. And it was like you was on parole, or it said Jay Prince Jr. Okay. Oh, I did hear that, but okay. So why, if he was on parole, why is he? First of all, I mean, and I'm not trying to get nobody, but we're trying to figure this shit out. Aren't you? Don't you have a
B3000? If you're on parole, why are you in an event like that with shooters around you? If you're on parole, you ain't got no shooters around you.
No shooters, no gun. You're not supposed to be around alcohol, right? You're not supposed to be around
birthday. No birthday. T.I. done had birthdays. You know, Bootsy done had birthdays. Young boy done had birthdays. Whoop de woo. And then they know how to separate. You know who's the hot head in your clique. You know which ones not to be around the most.
Yeah.
You're Jay Prince Jr. You know what type of figure your father is in hip hop and culture right now. You know what this does to his image in a situation.
Yeah. I understand a father not being able to control their grown son. He might be like, he grown, I can't do, but I do feel like, you know, looking at a man without a father, bro. If you know, the hood probably look up to Jay Prince because of the man of the stature he is, of what he's built.
Bingo, right? It becomes that as a son of,
bro.
The world loved you more than I didn't have a dad. It's the 50 Cent and his older son situation, like.
Yeah, but I'd be out here moving so, and maybe he thinks he's doing that. I think he's doing the gangster image too much. Even when he was with Duke the Jeweler. That's another thing though. This is his second death that he's been connected to just in 3
right.
Duke the Jeweler went out a dice game the night before. Him and Lil Boosie. You seen, you know, there was at a private party in H-Town. Duke the Jeweler came down from Chicago, and there's pictures and everything. You got Jay Prince over there blowing smoke out of his nose like a fucking bowl and shit, just fucking mob ties and shit. And the next night, I believe it was the dice game was the night before.
So now that's the cover, right? That's the cover. That's gonna be paid in full. Remember, paid in full. Like, we're gonna throw your birthday party. Happy birthday, you know.
Yep.
You already know that's the move. They too many gangsters, like I said, too many kids want to be gangsters. They ain't gangsters. They want to be gangsters. This is how you want to get a name. I want to be famous. That, you know, that True to the Game. Everybody know that movie. How did they make Quadre famous? They shot him at the end of True to the Game. You want to be famous? Let me go and put you on a t-shirt.
So I guess maybe it's the money talks and this and that, but to the average citizen, if steady man, you on parole on papers, but then I see you, damn man, he lit. He has some house party over there. I think he's sipping something, you know, whatever. He's
living dangerous.
He's
right, living dangerous.
Like, and you got hella cats up in the club, and a dude dies, and all the stuff was like turned over to Boosie. You know, Boosie catching the showed up.
Yeah, right.
and then he like caught a plane out the next day, and people were saying like, if you drove there with your cousin, why are you flying out? Like trying to, and then this happens again, man. So there's something going off, man, down there in Houston with these mob ties. Let me tell you a little bit about these mob.
And it's the name, right?
Yeah.
Come on now. When they convicted C Murder, what was the biggest thing they said? His name is C Murder. Rapper Corey Miller, known as C Murder, right? The group is called Mob Ties. And everybody know mobs do these type of things, right? They host these type of parties. They do this type of godfather. You know what I'm saying? We sorry, people. The media painted it this way. We're just spectators in this point, and y'all want to know like we want to know. That's what this conversation is about. It's about, come on, right from wrong. Because if that was the case, I would just came to the bowling thing, did my thing, whoop de whoop. Then okay, take a couple photos and we out. Why are we sitting up here doing all this extra behind the scene work?
Right. And
why are we in this small little huddle though?
Yeah, my other question was, well, first of all, in the Boosie, in the Duke the Jeweler one, in that clip that's going around and Boosie has his shirt off and he's looking over Duke the Jeweler the whole time. He ain't gambling, but he's over there, and the blogger was saying like he's watching. But there was no females in that place. It was a sausage party. Luckily at the 810 Billiards or whatever, and I did see a couple of shorties up in there. But my question was, if it's a private event, then isn't there a list? I mean, I hope the HPD is doing all this, but there should be a simple list. Who the fuck was here? There's cameras in the parking lot. There's like minutes after, you have to be piecing that footage. Okay, shots were fired at whatever 150.
They have to, it.
And then they're looking. First of all, I don't understand, bro. This is what I don't understand. You see the video, pop, pop, pop. Bro, there was at least like 15 people standing around. Is it just simply that none of those 15 people are snitching? How do you kill somebody 2 feet away and you're not caught?
You standing up bold and confident, like, all right, that ain't me that's dead. Like, that's the mentality we built now.
That's the part that's tripping me out. Like, they gotta know.
And then parties don't stop now. Like, the party keeps rolling. Like, dead bodies on. Like, have we gotten to that ill point in life where you're like, oh, I done seen dead bodies before. Like, you just done brashly built your ego to be like, that's just another dead homie. You know what I'm saying? That again, paid in full. hey, they die every day, B.
Yeah, niggas die every day, man. That he'll be all right. Like, damn,
you
man.
Tough, right?
It's and then to well, now I'm thinking about the PNB thing because I caught wind of the actual PNB, like when he first got shot, they tried to swipe it away, but I caught wind of that, bro, and like that was probably one of the most vicious ones I've seen, bro, because his hand was still twitching, bro. Like his hand was like tapping the floor, like almost as he was like trying to communicate, or maybe as the life was draining out of his body, he might have had like a beat in his head or something. That shit was a fucking gruesome, bro.
Right, that producer's hand of like, right now I'm trying, if I could sing it to y'all and tell y'all my pain right now.
Oh my God, bro. Hella blood in the damn restaurant, bro. And he was just sitting there, like laying there and just like all wet. I was just like, God, I was actually fucking kind of, because I don't like to watch stuff like that. I really don't. I can't watch rape scenes or like extreme torture scenes. It just does
none of that. Stomach don't, right? You less of a person if you like really finding some sort of thrill out of that sick moment, bro. Like I'm 100%. And then what we got the note, now there's this November death list with King Von, Mo 3, Dolph, and now I'm looking at the correlations.
Oh,
and now we got Aaron Carter now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now you're getting in there, like the November. So of course, harvest season, being October, November, that and then the whole like new moon, the equin, that shit's real, man. Just
get to what Thanksgiving really means. You feel me?
Yeah. And now a lot of celebrity deaths always happen, and we got brother Ray G up in the building. My co-host wasn't sure if he was gonna make it. We're gonna get him on up in here in a minute. I wanted I wanted to go in with you for a minute though, so
No
we can
pressure.
really delve into this this stuff, this urban hip hop news,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
But April and May, it seems like there's like the spring big sacrifices. A lot of deaths happen April, May-ish. We could, pull up a list, run down some names, but then again, in your like September, October, November, just huge, massive deaths. Always like every 6 months, almost like at these, and I believe that they do go off of some sort of calendar or this let me type this in real quick. There's a thing called the whatever the that god ball, it's like a sacrifice god, and
Right.
and
You feed them.
a lot of people in the Baal was a title and a honorific meaning in the Northwest Semitic languages spoken in the Levant during antiquity. But there's maybe I'll pull this up, but there's it's like 13 days where this god is worshipped. And I get back then or whatever, and they would sacrifice something on each day,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think stuff like that is
Part of this satanic ritual.
mm-hmm. And the Mason, the whole thing, man.
It's all tied to it, right?
To me, it just makes sense. It just you heard that video clip of Bob Dylan basically saying that he sold his soul, like admitting that he sold his soul.
Yeah, that's the most eerie video ever in life.
Right. Like, it goes back to that bargain I made, and he's like, the reporter asked him like, bargain. He's like, he says it like with the chief and commander of this world and one that we can't see. And but the way he said it, bro, is like he's coming from that old time era.
Right. And then there's an artist, I think, too, around that time period. Remember about the artist that sold his soul and then he died, I think, not long after. He was a very talented, I think, blues singer or somewhere around that era. I forgot who it was. Let me see.
Was it Sam Cooke?
No. Hold on.
I know who you're talking about, though. This other cat.
Yeah.
Did they make a movie like The Crossroads or something? Like they made a movie about an old blues player that sold his soul. Jimmy something. Johnny Jimmy some shit. You're gonna find it. Yeah, goddamn it. Jimmy John Jones.
You're right. Robert Johnson stands at the crossroads of okay.
Was that right? Yeah.
He was at Mississippi Crossroad and sold his soul to the devil in exchange for his unique musical gifts.
Yeah, Robert Johnson. They made a movie about that. And that movie's eerie as fuck. I believe in all that shit. Katy Perry years ago was on. There's a lot of celebrities that admit to selling their soul. Shout out to Randy Quaid, who was in a shitload of movies back in the 90s. Years ago, he spoke about the Star Whackers, and he was being interviewed out there, and he said there's like mobs in Hollywood, and if you don't do it, they'll come whack you. He was talking about Britney Spears, how they got to her, and then just get to people, man.
We don't talk about it publicly because we know what the controversy is, or we have our belief system. We don't cross that way.
Yeah, see. 13, it's like the 13 days of baller. I'm sure I was trying to find it. There's a 13 days of sacrifice. So, and all these deaths happening like around the Day of the Dead and Halloween, when the portals are already open at their all-time highest. Like there's a lot of energy that takes place. Okay, Moloch, the god of Moloch as well. Sacrifice rituals for Moloch, 13 days. Okay. Yeah, Moloch is a satanic god worshipped by. Okay, here we go. Moloch is a satanic god worshipped by many celebrities and politicians, which is also found in the Bohemian Groves. Shout out to Alex Jones. Their private club for hanging out, partying, and doing rituals. The owl is worshipped. That's why Drake's, with his OVO bullshit. It's way more than just a fucking cute little owl. Drake's saying something. That man is protected. And, as well as Bohemian Grove is a stone idol for rituals. This owl symbol can also be found on the dollar bill near the spider web design.
Wow.
And then, yeah. Wow. So this 13 days of preparation is from April 19th to May 1st.
But you said something real quick. I want to touch on it because you said the owl, right? As its signature, owls can turn their heads, right? What's the first thing they tell you when rappers don't get it right? They go for these 360 deals, right? Pay attention to stuff.
Ooh. Whoa. Hold on. That was a bar right there. Said 360 deals.
Come on, man. Owls can actually rotate their heads 360 degrees.
Wow.
You just said a dollar bill, you look in a spider's web, you can find an owl in it, man. Make that make sense?
Wow. That was a fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Man. So this is a liberty to the captives.net. There's an actual occult ritual calendar. And then Ray, see, I'm gonna get Ray up in the building here in just a moment. I don't see him anymore. It says ritual abuse and ritual killings are real. Many sacrifice victims are born and raised for the purpose of human sacrifice. In multi-generational voodoo families, for example, the oldest girl is often ritually abused and then sacrificed. The oldest daughter is also sacrificed in multi-generational Satanism. They are subjected to programming, surveillance, and various types of abuses during their upbringing, which Aaron Carter spoke about. Shout out to, man, I need both of us to get Orlando Brown, bro. Shout out to Orlando Brown.
They ain't ready for that. I'm telling you, that bro be on some subconscious different world. Like, for real.
I love Orlando Brown. Protect Orlando Brown, man. Shout out to Orlando Brown, dude. That man is not fucking crazy. If anything, he's hurt and scarred, but he ain't fucking crazy.
Funny, right? But then do y'all history books. Albert Einstein. Y'all gotta know. Thomas Edison. Y'all gotta go back and learn. Y'all quick to all about guys are crazy for being geniuses, right? Go back to your actual geniuses and forefathers. Research that. Then talk to us about who's crazy.
Right. That part. It says, and then Brother Ray, I got you here. In preparation for the day. So yeah, it says, look at this. It says, pray that God will rescue every person that Satan's workers have planned to ritually abuse and or sacrifice. Also, be prepared to open your home to anyone that God has sent to you for refuge. Be in prayer and be willing to be used as God's instrument to save lives. And it gives a breakdown like January, like all the months. And of course, Good Friday. Good Friday is the beginning of satanic high days that are celebrated throughout the weekend to the end of day on Easter Sunday. And then April 19th is the first day of the 13-day satanic ritual relating to fire, the fire god Baal, or Moloch / Nimrod, the sun god. See, I'm not crazy. 13 days of this shit. And then look at this, the grand climax. April 21st through 30th, sexual and blood rituals. And then we're going to go all the way down here, right? The September 23rd, the fall equinox. Or excuse me, so starting in September, you have marriage to the beast Satan. And then September 20th, the harvest, the moon harvest. Dismemberment, hands removed of the victim for hands of glory to Satan. September 23rd, fall equinox. Hold on. You know what? Let me do something. This shit sound crazy as a motherfucker. I gotta let the world see what I'm seeing, so that y'all don't think I'm fucking just over here bullshit.
You feel me?
So this is what I'm looking at. Liberty to the captives. But anyway, it gives a breakdown of all basically what the Satanists follow. I ain't saying I do this shit. This is what the real church.
This is what content creators give facts, right? So we're giving y'all some facts. This is the schedule, right? This is what they don't want you to know for their secret cults.
Yeah. And I spoke a little bit about the equinoxes. Right here, September 23rd, orgy ritual, oral, anal, and vaginal, human and or animal sacrifice. October 13th, the reverse date of the 31st, satanic holy days. You have abduction. Okay, wow. Look at this. Look at this. October 28th through November 4th. And it is what? I mean, it's November 5th. But
right.
And so what? Takeoff, Aaron Carter. And they're saying 11, he could have been dead since last night, but it says abduction, ceremonial preparation, and holding of sacrificial victim for Hallows Eve, human sacrifice. And then Sam. Just all about anal, these guys, because there's more rituals here, but and
Brother Ray G joined.
And they're just, I mean, they're all about it. They're all about it. So I mean, wherever you want to take it from there, that's just a rundown of their evil ass. Let me go ahead and get Brother Ray up in the building, sitting idly by. My co-host wasn't sure he was gonna make it because I said, right. "Oh man, off the cuff show, brother. I gotta go." And but sure enough, he's here with us. And go check him out on Talk Teach Truth at Instagram. But Brother Ray stepping in the stage live from the 775 Reno, Nevada. My brother,
Bruce Lee podcast is in the building.
Yes,
man, had to get you up in here, man. Me and Steady just we're going over here,
man.
Deep, man. Uncovering some.
Man, you guys doing a good job.
But now we're getting into a little spiritual, miracle, lyrical.
You feel me? That's what we do here. We're heading, find out the truth. We're doing the X-Files job.
The X-Files, yeah. You gotta tell them about Artie the One-Man Party. Hoffman, the medium. We had we had Artie One-Man Party.
Well, there ain't really nothing to say. Ray's just enamored with his biblical facts, and he just he feels like he I basically
told him steady, like, do you think Jesus is the Messiah? And of course, he's like Jewish background and stuff like that. I just want to make sure he's up on it. Anyway.
And he felt like a Jehovah's Witness at that point, and he was offended.
I know, right? Yeah, man. Now keep talking about your little,
So I'm over here. I just Googled Aaron Carter and everything, and there's other YouTubers already talking about the bathtub ritual, and maybe we can get into that one there. We started to cover that though, but some of the
right. We went all over the place.
Yeah. Got a little static.
I'm still tripping when you said that Orville Redenbacher died in a bathtub. Wasn't it just because he was old, or he just cut himself, or?
Yeah, a lot of motherfuckers died in the bathtub, bro.
Damn.
You know, I was just going down the thing. Did Amy Winehouse died in the bathtub too? Oh wow. Let me see. Amy Winehouse. She was another one. Hey Ray, you got some like clicking going on over there. Either that or the feds are listening already. I don't know what's happening. Brittany Murphy. Okay.
No. We got Elvis Presley. We got Lenny Bruce. We got Elga Ballas, Robert Pastorelli, Oval Redenbacher. We got Claude Francis, Albert Decker, Jim Morrison.
Wow. And I'm looking over here.
All died in a bathtub?
Yes, sir.
And I'm looking over here. Brittany Murphy apparently died in the shower. So
wow. Hey, you guys still hearing that clicking sound and everything? Because I'm just using my, I don't have my my podcast gear over here. Are you guys still hearing that clicking sound? Because if it is,
yeah. It's all like you're typing.
Yeah, it's probably my connection.
Let me just try to kick you out and then pop back in.
Yeah.
Sometimes that does the thing. Man, Brittany Murphy died in the shower. So just off those ones you read, I mean, damn, is that is that just a coincidence? Is that like, because I did look up the thing. Supposedly 19,000 people a year die in the bathtub. Can you maybe double fact check that one? I read some shit where 19,000 people die every year, or maybe it was injury related, but like there's a lot of motherfuckers that.
But a bathtub is always involved, right, in these situations, right? Like that's the most uncommon place to find a celebrity dead in. That doesn't.
Right. Yeah, that's the.
Isn't that,
and it's like
cliches.
Yeah, and first of all, it's like, man, how many men really gonna take a bath, bro? We don't like sitting on our ass water like that, bro. We're gonna be in a little hot tub, but we shower, bro. Like we shower. I take a bath, like a legit bath, probably like once a year. If I'm like really sick or something, I'll get some I'll try to take a bath with some Epsom salts or something like that.
Right. You feel me? That's the only time, because you're just a little stressed. You just want to woos off real quick. It's not even a long thing. It's just enough to go, like the old samurai way. Like you just get in real quick and then you hop right back out.
Yeah. Soak my muscles, whatever. Just like, but yeah, the bathtub is a very odd one. And just a bathroom in general. It always seemed, and even Elvis Presley, that supposedly he was, man, shout out to Pimp C too, man. I don't like that, bro. They try to say that, Pimp C's death is a very shady one. And I was listening to somebody up on one of those channels, Donnie Houston or H.I.D.A, and one of his close friends was talking about I've heard like 5 different stories about the way Pimp C died. Too Short has a different version. DJ Paul has a different version. And like 2 of his closest homies have a different version. So I don't know which one, but I'm going to take his closest homeboy, supposedly. And he said that he died like, see the other story, they tried to say there was candles melted and he was in, I heard one story, he was in a prayer position. Like he was died in a prayer. Then there's another guy saying he died in the bathroom, basically like on the toilet, like vomit all over him and everything, pants down, like a crazy look.
Right.
But there had to be some foul play in that too, man. And Too Short, one of Too Short's questions was, he just wants to know if he's like, was the door locked? He's like, because if the door was unlocked, that means somebody came in, but if the door is locked, that, but it just sucks that we don't get a lot of closure, let alone the families and everything, but just the general public. We're left to do this conspiracy shit. So don't get mad at us.
That's the whole beauty of conspiracy theories, right? Because somebody out there has these same maniacal thoughts and go, let me talk about it on podcast. There's big budgets in there. So just because we want to cross that line and get into it, don't fault us, right? Because there's an article here that says Pimp C's mother strongly believed he was murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, his own mom's, yeah. And then, a couple of his homeboys, they said that just things didn't seem right. I think Too Short and DJ Paul, they both were. I think Short was going to hook up with him in the next day, and DJ Paul had just seen him that night or that day or something like that.
Right? Like if you're in the prime of your life and then you're trying to put like, well, it was the whole, cough syrup, the whole syrup situation and his sleep apnea mix. Again, I like to say this thing with certain users. I'll be like, if they got a history of using this for like, I say 10 plus years at this point, and then all of a sudden, boom, I ain't saying overdoses that don't contribute to an overdose, but I'm just saying, I feel like you're a vet in that field to be like, I know how to maneuver and not just be like, I'm just gonna, I'm an overdose. I mean, overdose is an overdose, but I'm just saying your body doesn't take it as okay. Maybe I'm wrong, but what I'm really just saying is like, bro, I just feel like in certain situations they want to rule it as that, but I'm like, you got to scan the room, like you got to get more sources around the room, read the room first before you just be like, because the whole Whitney Houston, and then you go, she has a history of drug abuse, but she's found face down in the bathtub at a soiree at this party, and
Yeah.
5 years later, her daughter's in the same identical position, and you don't find that a ritual style death, like
that.
And then I remember they were saying she was just so depressed and grief stricken that she just couldn't take the loss of her mom.
What are the possibilities? There's like a 5, 10, 15% chance that this daughter was so enamored by her mother that in some sick way she wanted to die just like her. But I mean, like, let's say, because however Whitney died, whether she was taken out or not, if you're gonna kill yourself, because like I don't think the daughter was there that seen her mom, so even to imitate something like that,
thank you. Right, there's too much thought planning into.
I don't see how. And then in the back of my head, I'll be like, but damn, like, well, was it like this, or maybe I should get over it? Like I'd be like,
there's too much struggle, right? There's too much positioning, time, and effort of, all right, what temperature should the water be? Should I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're really, when it's easier to just go get a gun and just off yourself and be found in the same hotel, maybe. I felt like you would have got more credit for at least just being in the same hotel. Not saying you should credit suicide, but you get the point, people.
Yeah. See, now I had to Google that over here. I never, again, they just go to the small spoon with white crystal substance in it, rolled up in a piece of white paper. And it's like, man, even if that was the case, let her do her damn thing. But these days it's likely around for meth. They're trying to say she was a meth. I've done meth, so I mean, like,
right?
I mean, first of all, you don't even OD off meth. A meth user, hardcore meth user, would tell you it's so hard to OD off of meth, even though it speeds your heart up. It's fucking hard to overdose on meth. And yeah, most likely your heart will give out if you try to come down off meth with Xanax or something too fast. That's when your heart.
I can see that, right? When you do it like that, I can see. Just saying, like, if it's already at a heart rate at this boom, 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 and then you go, let me take this and then mix it. Yeah, I can see that as an OD style death with that particular drug. But just, and then let's look at the whole conspiracy theory behind Anna Nicole Smith's death. That was a big thing about that.
Yeah, Anna Nicole. Damn, I was a little younger. Let's see. I was pretty young on that one. Let me Google that page, man. I know was she found in the tub, or she was just found like in her hotel or something?
Found something like that, and
Or she was wearing that clown face, huh? That she was like dressed up like a clown, going insane towards her death.
Right, because she was at a party, so she was like hallucinating off or whatever.
Wait, damn, what was her name? Anna Nicole.
Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah, I remember watching some videos of her, and she looked like she was kind of suffering. She like was dressed up as a clown, and she was pretending to be a baby. Did you ever see those videos?
Right, when she started wigging, they was trying to paint out like she was wigging and losing it.
Yeah,
After her husband died, and I think her son died.
she's talking
And then,
really odd. Yeah, just really, but she was like painted like a clown. Like it was weird. Like it was just fucking
that whole Harley Quinn type of vibes.
yeah. That shit was like, and she was just like, kind of in and out. And then it was weird because I don't know if it was before or after Britney, but then after that or whatever, then you seen Britney kind of going down that same, almost like a cry.
Wow.
Right?
And they low key in their department. They do like she was shaving her head. Britney was shaving her head. There was a whole K-Fed fallout, the battle of custody with the kids. There was a lot of turmoil, right? And then what her last big thing was the whole thing with her dad and the old conservatorship and the money. Which if I'm not mistaken, Aaron Carter had to deal with one of those conservatorship situations too. I think he spoke out not long after Britney was going through it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think he had to deal with that too.
Well, he speaks a lot of his mom, and
screwed him over. He fell out with family. Like family really was like his worst enemy in that situation because he was so young and had so much power. And of course, the legal guardianship was to the parents. So he was making it, but it was like they was enjoying it. So ultimately, he was unhappy, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it with Macaulay Culkin. You see it in that line of where childhood stars lose it.
Corey Feldman.
Right. Another one, right?
And he speaks about they've tried to kill him numerous times. I've watched a lot of his interviews, but when he was on Steve-O's podcast, shout out to Steve. I love all. He's another one, man. I fucking fuck with Steve.
Goat. For real.
He was telling him how he had been, hit by a car and stabbed, and he's like literally telling you Hollywood, these guys, they'll come at you any fucking way. He's like, I've been walking down the street, car just, they tried to hit me with a car. They've tried to do this. I mean, and you've heard countless celebrities speak of that.
Back in blood, right? Ruining look at my girl, like Lindsay Lohan had ill shoes once upon a time. You know what I'm saying? The childhood actresses and actors. Of course, we talked about Orlando Brown. It's like they get in, they learn the ropes, right? And then these are the ones with the free mind that get out. Like, let me get out. Like, I gotta. And ultimately, you can't get out because now you're forever haunted, right? It becomes that final destination, like your boy Tony Todd said, you can't cheat death. Like, you spend every day, and they make it look like now you're this total nutcase. Because he talks in riddles. Like, he'd say the most weirdest thing. He'd be like, oh, he crazy. He must be back on the drugs. And I'm like, if y'all follow Orlando, like I was following Orlando, these probably are old clippings. Because he had got on the straight and narrow. He had got married, and he was with another cult, but it was more of a, religious cult that he got into that was helping keeping him straight and narrow. Maybe he might have, relapsed. I don't know for sure. I ain't really. But if he dropping in bars like he dropping in rap, you can't just be like, he just gone.
Have you seen the latest Orlando Brown on Cam Capone?
Nah, I ain't see that drop yet. I haven't ran into that one.
I almost, dude. I don't even know. Will I get in trouble for playing his shit?
You have to be. I think you got to be cautious with the licensing thing on certain things you drop, because they'll remove it because you don't own the rights. They'll definitely try to. Being that we probably so conspiracy tied into this particular one, will probably come with some backlash anyway. My motto: screw it, let's do it.
I want the world to see up in here. This dude, he you gotta see it for yourself. Actually, he was literally, I guess, fuck it, man. Shout out to Cam Capone, man. Maybe we can kind of talk over it a little bit too. Just I think there's something
We're analyzing. We're gonna analyze it and then make yeah. Let's do it like play it from that perspective.
Okay. And I'm gonna put in the link. I'm gonna put the whole whatever that copyright disclaimer. So yeah, we're like
good. Remember, we're part of the Lil Hats clan, so we're good.
Orlando Brown, Cam Capone is because there's a beginning of. Damn, he's clipping it up. I'm gonna have to go find. Let's see. Okay, thankful to be alive. Oh, okay, this is beautiful, bro. He starts crying, bro. You can't fake this. I fuck with Orlando Brown. Orlando, if you out there, bro, come on Who They Want podcast. Come over here to Harris is Drinking Again. We're gonna let you speak just like more than Cam Capone lets you speak, man. But he was talking some real shit. And let me go ahead and give this man the floor. Share my screen. Man. Shout out to Cam Capone News. All right, check this out. And then Ray, if you're still in the building, man, he pulls out that Bible, man. He pulls out the Bible and he says that's the only thing that's protected him, but he goes off right here. Shout out Cam Capone.
Orlando Brown.
You caught me before I could put the glasses on.
Go ahead.
That's real.
We're not gonna play the whole 8 minutes, but maybe just like 4 minutes here.
Again.
And he goes
Back
off,
again,
right, man.
You know,
talk about this
it's
industry,
always a good
man.
time when you're around, man. When we do this, right? You always kill it.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it.
So what do you have going on, man? I think you had some things going on today that kind of had you a little upset.
You know, like, whoo.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, I'm alive.
Wow.
I'm alive. I'm a fucking live, bro. I'm alive. Yada da bosha. Everything I said was true, bro. I'm alive, man. Fuck. Cover this baby in Jesus' name. Man. They tried so much, Cam. They tried so much.
Look at this man, bro. You just see it.
Woo! They tried so much. They tried so much. Yada da bosha. They tried so much. They tried so much, and it wasn't even that serious. Can you see my soul? It wasn't that serious, bro.
Harry's drinking again.
What the fuck?
I do not own the rights. YouTube.
Come on.
Let me get my shit off. Shout out Orlando Brown.
Those that bombed Iran.
Ooh.
Oh, those that raped my kids.
Ooh.
Oh, those that raped my wife. Oh, those that pimped my mama. Oh, yada da bosha. You serious? You serious? Not just today, Cam. Every day they bother me for being Jesus. For being my mother's son. Trying to save themselves. Raping my family.
Funny, Ye says the exact same things if you watch this interview and pay attention to what Ye
My
says.
family with peace.
Yeah.
Saying we want peace. If we can't have peace, we won't stop. as you seduce my family, and make them think they should kill me. Ah, Ribi, my sister Ribi, Rabosha. The only strap it's this. Only reason why I post like I post is because of this.
Mm.
The only reason why I will have the Orlando Brown show is because of this. The only reason why I ain't died is because of this. Holy Spirit is flowing through my body. What do y'all want from me?
Mm.
What do y'all want from my family?
Damn. Turn that ad off.
In the words of Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Yes, Cam, that's what happened today and has been happening.
Wow. That's just a little snippet, whatever, but
Respectfully, right? Yeah, let's give him that.
you know, wow. So yeah, so Orlando right there, I mean, he's letting you know, like, hold on, how do I get this fucking stop sharing? Okay. That was powerful, bro. Like I almost watching it
It's
again.
in chills. Yeah, it's in chills. Because you actually see real hurt, like no propaganda, no like I'm paid to cry on this cam. You really see like emotion of him coming from a solid minded place. But then I'm like comparison to Ye, it was like Ye says the exact same type of thing in conversations. He'll tell you they tried to take my kids. You know, he talks about it. And of course you gotta silence that, right? The truth shall not set you free.
Yep.
Yeah,
Trump,
you can see it in his eyes. He ain't sleeping at all.
nah. And you know the funny, well, not funny, but the funny thing is every time he comes on, you know, people don't know what Orlando Brown they're gonna get. And you know, I was looking at the comments and everything in that video, and little by little, he wins people over. That the narrative that the media tried to spin on him is starting to fade, and people are starting to see, like, you know, yeah, he's troubled, he's this, but he's sincere, and he's really trying. You know, he's really on this path, but he's dropping gems. You know, and when he speaks about my mom and my dad, sometimes he goes off crazy because he says that Michael Jackson's his dad and Whitney Houston's his mom. But I think that's his metaphors for them people, like in some way. But he has another clip where he's dead ass. He's like, Michael Jackson, my dad. Like, but he's such a good actor that you almost can't even tell if he was joking. But yeah, reading between the lines, man.
Got to, right? That's the whole purpose of it. It don't matter how the message is delivered. You're just supposed to get the message. You so focused on the character saying it and making him look like he's screwballed. He's not screwball, people. Like, I say this now. I'm in the world, but I ain't of this world. Like I'll say that around anybody. I feel like subconsciously, yeah, I might, dab into the media world. Or I might do certain things that may go against, but then I'll do something to atone for it by like sacrificing some hours away from it. Like I'll step away from the cell block of cellular phones and tie it into the social media imprisonment or fat. I'm not even into the fashion thing. I've never been a fashion, sadist for that nature. But what I'm saying is people like y'all want to be woke, but you're afraid of your peers' opinion. See, that's just what these guys are out here putting their lives on the line to basically express. Like, is it really worth it? Are you really that enslaved? You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to find the message and y'all not even decoding the message. You just sitting up there looking at it and go, I can't listen to that. He crazy. But then you'll sit there and call your homegirl and talk about this white man on this job did this to me. This so and so done did that to me. you want people to take your side on that type of scenario. So why we can't take the truth that's being put in front of our eyes? We selective on who it comes from.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that record labels are, there's this theory out there that they're putting life insurance policies on these artists?
Oh, it's been said. That's there. I think somebody actually said it on either one of my podcasts or something. It's been said that that's what they do. That's the whole purpose of when they give you those advancements. They already know you're not going to fulfill the terms of that contract.
Right.
They already borrowing that. When you get that advancements, that's borrowing off your insurance money.
Right. Because they know that even if you die, it's like they're going to recoup that time.
Bingo. I'm still going to make it big.
Right. That 10 million or 20 million sounds good, or 2 million. I got a $2 million deal. I'm hearing like NBA young boys signing like the 30, 40. I don't know what's going on with this deal structure these days. Because
Birdman's the devil. The Birdman's the devil.
No, definitely that motherfucker. The sad thing is, the sad thing is Birdman even has a shit, my bad. Like probably a boss, or like I don't know if he's the end all be all, but I'm sure there's even like, who's the person that Birdman has to go answer to at Atlantic or Warner? Like,
I know it's his brother Slim, and then it's somebody over Slim. It's the order it goes.
Damn, see,
he's like the last one that it trickles down to. So I can't really say that. But he's that. Maybe he's just that ram in the bush. Maybe he's that one, because you seen how the whole Wayne turnout ended up being.
Yeah.
He did end up fighting for Wayne, even though it was like, yeah, Birdman been screwing them boys over. That's why the hot boys didn't like. That's why. But then if you listen to hip hop culture, Cash Money still considered one of the thrones of hip hop culture.
Yeah, what's very mysterious is this Slim Cat. I'm so enthralled with the fucking these boogeyman auras that these gentlemen have. The like Jay Prince,
Right. This Godfather, I can make you an offer you won't refuse.
Yeah,
type of move.
And you hear about, he's so respected and feared in Texas specifically, but he can make a call and get a chain back in North Dakota.
He's the Suge Knight of Texas. Let's put it out like that.
But then when you pass Jay Prince, right? I don't know, man. This Al Heyman character, the Al Heyman that's behind Mayweather, Money Mayweather, he's also behind Jay Prince, and apparently this Al Heyman,
right, and Jay Prince got ties to the boxing world now.
Yeah, it's like this, but this Al Heyman dude is behind like big shit in history, like just big shit. But he's one of them cats that people, Al Heyman, I don't know who he is. He's fucking everywhere. Like he's
right.
He's responsible for like it's but I'm so interested in did you watch the Godfather on Netflix, the Black Godfather? Did you watch that one?
I didn't catch that one yet.
Okay, so bro, I didn't want to watch it either. It might have to be required for like Black History, even though I generally think the actual Black History Month is some bullshit. Just like this,
we all know it was, right. It was just like Black Lives Matter. It ended up being just this big organization and win big money.
And just like this, what's the new one? This goddamn Juneteenth or whatever the fuck they gave us
all these man-made propaganda, big budget, big clientele, big market schemes.
I gotta fact check this motherfucker real quick. Bro, there's this cat, the Black Godfather, dude. He's probably more powerful than white people. This dude, Jesus Christ, Black Godfather. Dude, look him up. He's fucking, what's his damn name? Clarence Avant. Clarence fucking Avant is literally the single most handed, powerfulest. They call him the most powerfulest man in the industry. Like he like does shit with presidents. Like even the small hats supposedly go to Clarence for approval to shit, and nobody knows how he even really got on. The documentary says some bullshit. Like in the beginning, it just he made it's like nah, dude. Again, for the people that listen, it does not tell you how he got on. They give you some bullshit explanation, and it's all. But yeah, man, I'm so interested in these kind of guys, bro. Clarence Avant, the Black Godfather, man, and y'all go check that out, man. The story of the man holding up Hollywood. Apparently, he just makes shit go away. Look at this. He said, which traces have influence through Barack Obama to Snoop Dogg.
It was basically the Luca Brox. The Luca Brox. Well, he was the Godfather, right? So it was like, yeah, I'm reading it, right? He was this American music exec. Dude had some major ties to make some things disappear for you. Like,
yeah.
He's been around since jazz. He helped put jazz musicians on. You know, he got ties to Motown. Yeah, everybody.
See the big guys that we like. Oh, Jimmy Jam, or it's like nah. He like did shit for them.
Daryl, right? Like he was that Luca Brasi character. Like he was that guy that worked his way up the ranks.
Damn. Yeah.
Like he moved in silence, got it done. It was when the move in silence got it done. You never saw him, but when he appeared, you knew he was that guy.
Man, and apparently that's how he came to the light. Whatever. I guess his wife, I think she died like last year. His wife like got stabbed to death, like some weird shit, bro. Like some weird shit. Something weird happened to his wife. And I was like, okay, bro. All right. I see what it is. You know, okay. I ain't fucking with Clarence Avant, man. Shout out to you, sir, man. Shit. Goddamn. Got me trembling over here in my boots. But like, that's the first time I heard about him was something happened to his wife a couple months ago. And then
she got shot in the back.
Shot in the back. And it wasn't in the house. Like it happened in their house or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, of course, you know, it went away. Nothing, not a peep. I mean, not a peep. That's all he said. His wife got shot. I'm talking about you can't Google a damn nothing. You can't even, man, this dude's so powerful. Like, man, it's like literally what photos you want out there, he'll put out there type shit. Like, you ain't ain't no pictures of his wife's body, nothing.
You hear me? Like, literally nothing, bro.
Like, wouldn't even be a chance. That's how crazy this dude is, man. But
that's okay. The dude that killed her got 190 years.
Man, and I bet. Oh, yeah, that's what they say. Oh man, a man powerful as that dude. Mr. Avant said, "Handle this, guard." Oh, no doubt. Shit.
Right. I just make that one call. We'll see, bud.
But yeah, there's something to that, man. And I think like black culture in general, hip hop culture, like, you know, we're fascinated by the gangster story, you know, by the damn, you know, I mean, as you can see, 50 Cent, man, just keeps making all these BMF and all this power and stuff. You know, we're driven by that.
Right.
Everybody's over here like thinking, you know, Jay-Z, it's like his whole mystique is that he could be a 33rd degree Mason, and he's, you know, you're never gonna catch Jay-Z slipping on a subway or at a bowling at a billiards game or a bowling alley at 2 a.m. Like, it just, you know, there's these certain
right. Right, like Too Short said, I watched one of his interviews on 85 South. He was talking about a cat he knew that was in high school that was like basically in the same. He was like a 10th grader, but he got respect and love like he was a senior. And he'd be like, everybody protected this dude. Like, this was the type of dude that you had to make appointments just to say hi to this type of guy, right? So like somebody like Jay-Z, I'm pretty sure there's somebody that he sends out there as a representative to be like, you go out there, you test that, go grab this for my wife. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to come out of his $1 billion homes or $1 billion home for that. For what? I'm sure his kids don't even have to leave the house.
And you're that up there. I mean, your kid has to have security at that point. What's his name? Blue Ivy or some shit.
Blue Ivy and the twins, right? They ain't moving without no kind of escort.
Man, bro, I'm telling you right now, if I see one of those kids on the damn street, man, I'm gonna try to get, I'm gonna do a ransom. I'm saying that. Fuck it. If I see Blue Ivy, I'm gonna be like, man, come here. Nah, bullshit. But
it's the same man that got 21 Savage cleared out of whatever UK business. I don't think you want them type of problems.
Right. Yeah, like yeah, maybe I shouldn't have actually said that, even though I was kidding. Mr. Sean Carter. I was trying to be funny. I am clearly not. I love you, sir. I would never fucking.
Much respect.
I would never even come close to fucking even looking at your fucking daughter. Oh shit, that's okay.
And this man about an ace of spades, and they all laugh about it.
Yeah, we need that sponsor, Deuce. Yeah, Deuce. Whatever.
Right.
But like, and I just wish. What's sad is like, why these guys are so revered. I want to say this real quick is now that I'm considered an old fucking head, right? 35 years old, and I feel young as hell, bro. I feel better than I ever have in my life.
You feel me? Because we survived, we lived, we saw it all, but we didn't talk about it all. But now we're content creators, and we know which way to tread in our business.
Yeah, and there's a certain beauty to, like, if my life was cut short, like any time between now and the next 15 years, I feel like I would have died too young. Because as you elevate in life, man,
for real,
we're constantly getting better, and that, at least that's the hope. And the plan is to be able to like right your wrongs and kind of, be able to say, oh, you know what, man, last year I was on some bullshit, but this year I'm I feel this way, or I grew up, or I learned from that, or So I just want to say, I hope that you young artists out there, man, it's tough. It's tough. You're caught up in the mix, and you want to be cool and liked, and the media is down your throat. But we gotta do something to where we make being almost a square cool again. We make like the gang is whack as fuck. Let's start there. All that gang murder kill is whack, bro. Everybody tell you it takes a little an ounce of pressure to pull the trigger. Take a real man to, take a real
walk
man.
Away that old school. I remember that speech, right?
Yeah,
like the same thing as saying it takes more muscles to frown than to smile. Like, I gotta be able to laugh some stuff off and be like, you got me today. I'm gonna let you have that and live.
Man,
it's cool to be alive, right? It's cool to, like you say, wake up 15, 20 years past that prime moment of where it could have ended it all for you 15 years ago. And, be able to tell your kids, grandkids, or whoever in that line of fire, like, this ain't the route you want to be a part of. Like, be an influencer for that. Like, don't be an influencer for the clout vibes and for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to think smarter and not be on some dumb vibes, right? Because you're speaking the truth. But I feel like like, we talking culture, I feel like there needs to be more of this unification. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to talk about, the old heads will tell you, oh, we're mad because the young cats don't ever want to give us our salute when we're the one that laid down the foundation. But at the same time, we so busy trying to make them look ignorant because we're not trying to understand the new wave or the new trend or the new branch. You know what I'm saying? Pudgy the Fat Bastard was on my show, and he was talking about it's still part of that same tree. It's just a different branch. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's sprouting from some original format. But at the end of the day, bro, we need to have each other. I feel like it goes the same way. You know what I'm saying? Just like y'all want to scream Black Lives Matter. I feel like artists' lives matter, I feel like there should be KRS-One, LL Cool J, Diddy, Jay-Z, even Jay Prince. You know what I'm saying? Ice Cube. I feel like They should just everybody should just unify on some like let's teach these youngsters like how to really get your bag without trying to go down all the road. And I know some of their music may have led them to that path. But I grew up listening to that. That was a culture shock for that moment. That was just them speaking on what they was going through at that moment. But at the end of the day, it's just like being a parent, right? They make mistakes, so we don't have to. So why we got to go up with that mentality of I got to struggle because my parents struggle.
Yeah.
Struggle ain't something that's handed to you. It's just something you go through and you work your way out of.
What would you say? Like, did you have like anybody in your corner that to help steer you there in any sort of way, or were you just more self-taught? Like this concept that you have, this clarity that you have now.
It comes from growing up with a grandma that really cared about me and
Okay.
kept me from making those type of decisions. To be honest, and it comes from some great uncles. Man, I got 5 uncles that would, what I'm saying, teach me right from wrong, teach you that man stepper. That ain't things we do. You know what I'm saying? I come from that value of if this ain't for you, we send you back in the house. I'm from that era.
Okay.
I ain't from that. I'm gonna be on the block because Lil Will is slanging, and I'm gonna be posted up taking Instagram pictures. We look now. I'm from that's his business. He do what he got to do. I'm gonna be in the house because Lil Will ain't gonna be there in the next 5 minutes.
That's game. That's game, man. That's important. Like you said, even if it's not a father figure or whatever it is, an uncle, as long as you can kind of take it from somewhere. I feel like some people might have it naturally, to just be aware. I didn't have a male figure per se, but my mom's boyfriends and stuff. Like, I would still just look at men in general throughout the
Right.
neighborhood, and then on
And
TV.
you build your own mental notes, and you
Yeah.
knew it goes back to what you just said. You still had that common sense. That ain't what I want to do.
Because I
You
would,
done been through the drug life. You ain't do it on purpose, but it was just something you had to learn. All right, this ain't for me no more.
yeah, and I would see like friends, different people, just men in general, like how they, and like I said, I think on our last show, I'm very fucking judgmental, so I'm always looking like, just at people, and I'm just always like assessing, and then I'm listening to how they speak, and like, just like okay, like filling you out,
I do that a lot too now, right? Because like I said, I be heavy on the whole Kevin Gates like energy means everything, protect my peace type of mentality now. So I be studying some things like he'll do, not the whole sexual enthused thing part of it, right? But that's his culture, that's his life. What I'm saying, I be on that. Like I be look at read the room, like you said. I sit back, read the room, read the conversations. That's what made me so great as a podcast. Was like my mind became the comedian of conversation, right? You read the room, you absorb it, and then you process, and then I'd be like, all right, let me put my 2 cents in on this. Because now I got a full understanding after hearing you, and you, but this ain't being said. It's all about soaking it up and making your own, not making a conclusion, but accessing it different.
Yeah. Man, I was listening to the Charleston White back and forth, and with his son, Boosie's son, and Tip's son, and one of the things that they were both saying on the live, man, and I've heard this a lot, man. I just heard this in public, like just in passing. I'm hearing kids talking in the store, bro, and it's like, I'm like, that's how I know I'm getting old, bro. Because I'm over here, I got a 7-year-old, and I'm thinking like, man, he ain't gonna be talking like that. But they were just little kids, bro. And
Yeah.
I don't say like I'm not due to say like nigga a lot. I'll do it here and there for emphasis.
But it affects you differently on the youth using it and don't really understand the whole
Bro,
concept.
they are dropping it as if they are like like so. But I'm hearing the tonality in which they doing it, which I know if I even say, hey, you little, hey, youngsters, they'll be like, hey, fuck you, old head, motherfucker. Like they were so
Right, you get that type of backlash, right?
that energy, and that's one of the things that Tip, King Harris and Lil Boosie, whatever, Lil Tootie, Tootie Raw. What the fuck? That's crazy. Um, but that was their thing. I watched one of these videos that he did. And he just kept saying, "Man, like, you old, bro. Like, come on, bro. You old, bro. Old ass nigga, bro. Like, get out of here, bro. Like this old ass nigga, bro. And, like they just kept, this old ass nigga, bro. And I'm over there sitting there, bro. You should be lucky to fuck. Hope that you get old, young nigga.
Right?
Nigga, you know what I mean? Hope that I'm over here, bro. This man's 45 years old, and he's full of energy, full of life. I'm over there like, wow, we live in this age to where there's such a disconnect that it's bad to be old. I don't. I'm so lost in that whole thing. Like you old, bro. Like old school, old.
Gilly Gilly spoke out. Gilly the Kid spoke out on that. I think can't remember if it was after somebody's death. I'm not sure if it was after Nipsey or somebody. But he does that now. He'll speak out and be like, it was like, bruh, it's cool to be old. Like it's okay to be the corny man in the room now. Like it's okay to say that, you know why? Because you're still alive type of guy. He even spoke out after the whole takeoff thing and he was like, bruh, y'all doing too much. He expressed how wrong. And then you think about it, he's from the era you couldn't tape these type of things. Somebody get shot like that, you chilling. That wasn't whoop de whoop. You knew that wasn't. You wasn't catching that. You think Biggie be out there making moves like that and putting it all on? Hey, yo, the Graham got to see this. They ain't gonna believe I'm over here doing. You think he would have did that type of move
Back then?
right?
Well, did he? Yes, because he liked to be all up in the videos, all up in the camera.
Dancing on.
I could see Diddy actually doing that, but the rest of them, nah.
Fact check, right? Because he wanted to. And I just watched the documentary, but like it's like a 3-year-old documentary. I'm looking at like Diddy was definitely that guy, right? It was that one that had to be seen.
Yeah, you know the thing about man, there's sometimes I want to go so hard, go in and just talk shit on these motherfuckers. But now that I have this platform and I've become a podcaster, I'm starting to realize, first of all, how powerful we are.
Right.
With this mic, with this brand, with the business. I just filed for my LLC, by the way, and
congratulations, bro. Big up to that.
Thank you, man. And just seeing how you you having it too, like that was I take things from everywhere. I'm like, oh, okay. Who they wanted to just that LLC, man. It makes you official. Like it's just
it was, and that's what it's all about. It's about distinguishing what are you using your voice for. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Like it don't matter don't matter who tells the message as long as they get the message. But if you come off from like a distinguished platform, that changes the little hat. Now the little hat has the biggest voice in the room just because he's established himself to let you know I ain't no pushover. And that was my whole fight. That's still my constant battle now. Even you gave me some great words of wisdom when I just was like, bro, I just needed a mental woosah the other night. And it wasn't about the fact I couldn't pull it off. It just was at that moment. I'm a team player, right? So when I move, I expect my Misfits clan to move with me. And I knew one of my teammates was going through some things of getting their life together, making some transition off cam. And I was like, yo, but I'm getting these calls that you're the most needed, wanted to see person. So of course, respectfully, even though I know who I am, I know what my position is, but at the same time, he sometimes be like, I got that Three Musketeers mentality. You know what I'm saying? All for one for all. So I fell back for a minute, like I'm gonna let this person get themselves together and then come back strong. That's all my moves be on. Like, cause everybody eats. Again, my Paid in Full is one. If I use that reference too much tonight, it's one of my favorite movies. Everybody eats around me. That's just how I've moved.
yeah. That's I'm sure you're the kind of guy that you
You have to come again. I think we're losing. We don't say too much in this show. They're silencing you.
to be honest, I'm actually nervous about getting off this live and then because the last time I went too hard, bro, they literally took they made my made it private, like for me. Like they're like, I got the email and said this video is marked private because of community guideline.
So they're doing. See, this is what happened when Pandora box is now being open, and everybody wants to jump on these set topics and these issues. Right? We get censorship not for expressing our beliefs or whatever for ourselves. It's just the fact you bringing up what we are already trying to silence in the first place. So now we have to, we can't put you on the forefront. Hey, you know me. Start emailing them to me. I got a whole network. Like one thing about it, I feel like I'm secure and make my moves. And like I said, my friend Duchess, my partner Duchess got her own social media platform. So one way or another, that we shall be heard.
Mm. Hey, and one of the, and I actually forgot before we got cut off, but I'm on to another thought now. I want to holler at you, maybe behind the scenes, but also I'm looking to get my show up on Spotify, Apple, the whole thing. Do you do the anchor thing for yours as
I'm
well?
Pi, I'm Bean with mine. So Bean has more branch. So
Okay.
if
Oh,
you
so
want to make some more,
Podbean does what Anchor does?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh shit! So I've already been recording on Podbean. Um. Okay. So okay, I didn't even know that though. I haven't looked into Podbean. I just do the free service and I do the live.
See, and then I'm seeing a lot of complaints coming from Anchor now. I think since they fully are backed by Spotify now, there's like a lot of tweaks with their network. Now it's people aren't seeing authentic like listenership and bandwidth on them, and then there's limitations on where they can put their shows. And I was like, I got out before all this was coming on,
Oh,
and I was like, I researched it as first and I trusted Podbean because Podbean gives like a better dynamic system. And since I got the whole LLC, they actually let me like structure it where you can put more than one podcast under your particular brand. So that's why I made my page as the LLC entertainment page because I have multiple podcasts in store for my brand.
oh, see, that's another motherfucking that's another bomb right there. Gyms. Um. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look into that. Apparently, I haven't went into Podbean and I didn't know that they distributed it out for you. I've just been
Yeah,
doing. Okay, okay.
we
Um,
got something into the anchor lifestyle because that was as a newcomer, you'd be like, you just want to go and get it posted and don't want to do the hardship work. Podbean is the same work. Only thing is you just paying a fee to be able to do it, as opposed to Anchor's freeness. But you're still on Spotify. You still get your Apple. But now they even got iHeart already listed. They got Samsung already up there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at it like, yo, they really got more options that
okay,
gives you more brand. You can still work on sponsorships and because they're partnered with Patreon and stuff like that. So it's a way to still work around the loophole.
ooh, okay, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna check into that. Now, I was noticing an Anchor, where if you already have a podcast, they want you to upload your RSS feed and they can pull your
That's
shows.
what I did. Yeah, I did that. I did that.
Now, but the RSS feed, like through Melon, you know, I don't know if I have that or if you already have to have your show somewhere. Can I go back from
Get it from Anchor. If you're posting the shows off Melon to your Anchor account, just get the R. Just do once you go to whatever site platform you're going to switch to, they have the option where they'll tell you to switch from a particular thing, and they'll tell you the rule. All you do is you go back, and I think you have to redirect from your Anchor account to wherever your new platform is going to be on, and then you go to the new platform. It takes like 24 to 48 hours, and it's just quick, smooth. It was no hardship. They move it over, no problem.
okay, well,
Just as long as you got your RSS feed.
okay, well that's what I'm saying. I don't have because I don't have anything on Anchor. I've just been doing the YouTube, Facebook, but I save all my I have the actual file after every show. I download the actual show.
Okay.
Um, does Podbean have it to where I can go back from like show one and upload it?
Yeah, you'll be able to do all that. You'll be able to do your drop all your shows on there.
Okay.
They have it where you can structure it the way you want to. Because I just went through and had to structure. I realized I was posting and not like ironing out my numbers, and I realized like I'm in season 8 with me, and then I was like, oh, okay, now I see why my numbers was kind of obscure. Stuff was just way out of whack. But I fixed it today. I was like really on some boss moves today. I was like, yo, I gotta, because again, like I said, the revenue portion as far as getting it from a platform has never been a concern for me. I just like really like having the solid analytics. Because once you talk to people and you're doing cross promotion shows with our mutual friend or whatever, first thing they're gonna ask you is like, what's your listenership? So like, they ain't like, okay, so how much your bankroll is. They're gonna be like, what is your audience like? And thanks to Podbean, I actually can say I have a solid audience.
Do they? Okay. They kind of they can take all your numbers from all your platforms and give you a nice.
Okay, well, I think with that, I lost that, right? Because I had like 3,000 on Anchor, so you get like a fresh. It was for me, it was worth the sacrifice. Like it was worth it because I already know it. But to get something more structured was like it'll climb back up.
Okay, right.
So it'll be kind of like coming out of the minor leagues and then jumping into the major leagues, and you go, oh, so this is what it like to actually grow. Now you see it really grow, and who's really tuning in, and where. You know what I'm saying? It just gives you more of a broad spectrum of how to launch your podcast.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. I just we just had Rico on this last Thursday, and
shout out to Rico, great guy.
Man, we had a hell of a time, man. And I was looking at I'm looking at yours, looking at his, looking at Chewy's, like I'm seeing I was like, okay, that's next. I came out the box like YouTube, I'm just trying to grow the YouTube. Like I'm trying to get
respectfully, right? And that's what you want to do.
I'm trying to get that 1K. I'm up on Twitch too. It's easier to get monetized on Twitch. If I had the same numbers as I do on YouTube right now, I would already be monetized on Twitch. So now I'm trying to grow the Twitch, but for the overall, I guess, look and professionalism. And a lot of times when I say, do I have a podcast? People say, oh, is it on Spotify? They don't ask if it's on YouTube. They say, oh, is it on Apple or is it on Spotify? So I'm starting to see just in general, again, from
now visual podcasts are becoming more of a thing as opposed to just audio. I feel like once you say a podcast, it shouldn't really matter, right? That's like asking, Ellen DeGeneres, like her having a talk show. If she switched to podcast right now, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell the difference as long as you heard the voice, right? Like, what's be a big deal, visual, audio, whatever? Because we're still in the studio. Like a lot of them stuff, a lot of the podcasts that we hear be recorded in live studios. So that's why I like do mine now, right? Because everything will be from the live, and I'll post it up there, and it still does great numbers. And that's why I'd be like, I'll try to tell my crew, like a lot of times I'm like, it's good to acknowledge the comments, but I'm like, it don't really matter if the listeners listen because they can't read what you're reading on screen, or if you silently reading it and then answer, they're gonna be like, well, you answering that, but I don't hear them on the show. But that's neither here nor there. It's just something I like to have a moment of like clarity on. Be like, don't make all your attention go towards a lit audience panel.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think I'm excited for my second year coming up. I'm
excited for you too.
Less than 60 days, man, and
Oh, we're doing it big. We're gonna do it big. Then you got to do it big. If we're gonna do 2 years, we're gonna host a big party.
Oh yeah, man, I'm in this for the long haul, bro. As the LLC was like the for me solidifying it, and then also so I can. When I'm talking about it now, it's like I'm not just you hear people, oh my cousin's sister has a podcast too, and this, and it's like, bro, once you put your money behind yourself and you brand yourself and you put yourself out there, then it's a podcast.
It changes the room. It changes the room of conversation because you're not just looked at some podcast in the room. You become the podcast in the room. I know what you're talking about. Like, you got to change the narrative, right? And that was like, I think after I was getting like some guests, you know what I'm saying? Once the real kind of name guest was dropping on the show, like those no shade towards the like independent artists, but for me, as I'm growing, I was like, Anchor kind of came off as, some people look at, oh, you're hosting on Anchor. Like, I just don't want to feel that rookie spectrum, even though Anchor's not a rookie platform, but it's more for that beginner's style of podcast. And I was just like, bro, I got so many jewels. I got so many great things going on. I was like, I just can't be in that box. I was like, I'm gonna take a step outside the box. And I went to Podbean. I was like, I just need it just so when I say it, you know to look for it. And plus, it's hard to have like when you're doing multiple content, it was like Anchor won't let me host it under different things. It was still under one brand. So if I'm, producing one of my other guests, one of my other friends' shows, but I'm putting it on Anchor, it was like I couldn't separate it from the Who They Want podcast because it wasn't Who They Want. It was Who They Want Entertainment.
Okay. Man, that's wonderful game right there, man. I'm glad you told me that. And it's funny because every time I'm not doing Podbean tonight, matter of fact, I pulled it up to do the thing, but since I've been doing the free stream, the very limited features, but it's always funny because it seems like there's always, sometimes I have between 6 and like 12, just like random people, or I'll get off stream and like, maybe 5 people entered the building and left hearts and shit. So I'm like, damn, it seems like there's something going on. The people on Podbean are like loyal or something. But I usually have more traction over there just doing the free stream than YouTube sometimes. And I'm like, okay, so I need to
That's the ones you kind of make sure you give them a little shout out, showing them a little. I know what you're talking about. Like certain numbers do move differently when you on certain platform. Like you get more engagement out of that audience, and then that's who you be like, I know that they enjoy certain level. You look at the degree of your content, right? That's what I focused on with my Artistry Tuesday content when we bring independent artists in, and like the chat lines are like lit, and then like people love when we do it, and there was a period, bro. I was like, I'm gonna put it on hang. Like, I just felt like, because like you just said, sometimes numbers don't show up until after you're done recording. So it got more shares and attraction like after I was done. And I'm like, you're gonna get rid of your greatest asset for what? Like, it's a whole. So now I'm back in the rotation of really trying to go Monday through Fridays now and keeping a guest book or keeping some content scripted for that day. It'd be like, you'd be like, it's tiresome. I feel like I'm working. I'm like that old cliche. I'm working hard. I'm working too much, but it ain't working enough because this podcast, I don't consider it a job.
Wow. And so I go into that for a minute. So I've seen you do the makeover Monday or sorry, music.
No, you depending on what day. Like I attach the theme to whatever the guest is. So it'll be like if it's a movie person, it'll be like movie icon Monday.
Okay.
Or if it's like an artist, I might be like, music icon Monday. I just theme it just by whatever that energy is going to be for that particular content.
Yeah. And then you have the Artistry Tuesday, and then whatever.
Who They Want Wednesday is growing now, and then now we got give the people what they want Thursdays, and then we do everything entertainment Fridays.
Oh man. And you're over here doing a Harris's Drink It collab on a Saturday, man.
Isn't it fun to be content creators? Well, you be like, screw it, I'm going live in 2 hours. I was like, let's go. I wasn't doing nothing.
Yo, and shout out to you, man, because now that I'm in this lane, and I'm in the network.
We can work. We can feed off each other. We can share. We can create that group connection of bouncing each other. I know what you're talking about. That bounce of, hey, bro, what do you think about this? We can share, join, and like come together. Like this week, I have an open slot. You guys are welcome to come through on Who They Want whenever y'all want. You know how that is. That's what I want to continue to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not about hating on nobody's craft. Like you just shouted out a bunch of jewels of people that got podcasts. We would love to, do joint projects with them. I love being able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Not for clout, not for nothing. It's just because I feel like the people need different perspectives to match up with their ego or their perspective. Because it's podcast, it's not radio. And if you're on satellite radio and you just hear us come on, you be like, oh, them brothers went deep. Because one of my favorite movies at this point is Talk to Me. You know what I'm saying? My boy Don Cheadle plays Petey Green. And it gave, if you watch that movie as a podcast, you'll get so many jewels out of it, and you'll see like sometimes you might get to a point where you fall out of love. Like Petey only fell out of love with it because he got used in the end, and he realized he was being used for his gift. And I was like, I don't never want to feel like I'm doing this to appease somebody else's dream. I'm doing this because this is my dream.
Yeah, it makes you feel good, worthy. For me, it's that same feeling. I was doing music, and I'm so glad now I could freestyle. I have my 2 hours
Exactly.
on Spotify. I still promote my old projects, and I have plans to make some songs, but I really wanted to get out of that rapper mode, especially what's happening now. I fuck being a rapper. I'll promote them, and I love it and love the culture and all that, but it's a way for me to be creative and get my mind, my thoughts out there. Mix a little music, and then with the editing, you get a chance to people to see your brain, like just the way you would edit videos. And there's so many, and then when I was talking to Ray, we're glad to get guests like yourself and Rico and Mark, and then all these people now, because we take ourselves from just, it's like now we almost providing a service, right? You provide you give people a reason to go to your platform. It's not maybe in the beginning you're just talking, ranting, figuring it out. But
Bingo,
now,
right? There's that stage.
when you have actual guests of substance who provide something, like Rico talking about being an interpreter, talking about the mixed martial arts world, and he's giving us his wealth of knowledge. Now the listener has a reason to be here.
Bingo, right? Now you learn the ultimate hidden gem of what podcast is. Now, because everybody would always ask me that question. They'd be like, what is podcast? Podcast ain't nothing but an informative form of radio, right? You can still be entertaining, but your main goal is to make sure, like you said, you have that substance within your content. That changes your audience views. That changes your ratings. Because now it's not somebody giving a bunch of buffoonery in an episode. Of course, we're gonna have random laughs. Or look how we just crossed over from opening the floor with all the recent deaths, going through conspiracy theories, break down all this. Now we having real heart to heart conversations here. Like that's the beauty of podcast. Was like you can be in all these realms and still not lose your audience because it's still leaving them with information. Because they might go back and be like, man, that first opening 30 minutes was dope. But then the next listener be like, you think the 30-minute was dope. You got to get like into the hour of the show and really see him, bring up something. And then you got the conclusionary portion when they wrap it up and go, man, them brothers just got so humble at the end. And you're like, you know what? I feel good about today. Because now I don't feel crazy for thinking what I thought now. Because they hit the nail in the coffin to everything in my mind that I was thinking, but I was afraid to say it. These guys ain't afraid to say it. We'll risk it all when that mic come on, that green light or the red light come on, and that record button is going. We know we signed. We signed that deal. Man. We sign our own. You know what I'm saying? Contracts when we do it. Like I love it now, and I tell people now, like your contract when you come on, who they want is you agreeing to say you gonna come on the show.
Yep.
Like if you're gonna hit us with that red flag afterwards, then you shouldn't agree to come on the show. Like my intro. I'll give you the links to my show. Every intro, I'm going to forever say we do everything they don't do. So, like, I made jokes last week about all the technical difficulties we was having with certain guests, and I was like, well, we do everything we don't do here. So having a live show and then having technical issues be like, we never said we was a perfect podcast.
People like to hear that sort of rawness too, authenticity. Oh man, they're not. These brothers aren't up on a high horse, and I think that's why like Rogan even though he's kind of been removed, he started out like that. He was like the people's champ, They
knew they was doing when they wanted this, man. They already knew all the ventures he was tied to. They just saw quick, put him onto a podcast and he was going to bring that because Spotify signed it. He was going to bring in more attraction for them to sell podcasts really through Spotify, right? So he was kind of like that key that unlocked that door. And then once he started making some brash statements, they was like, oh, you got to stick to the script, buddy. This is what we want you to say. This is what we're paying you to do. And then you go, but you do know I'm Joe Rogan, right? I'm in these worlds. I'm into these things. I have free mind. And it was like, we don't pay you to think. We pay you to stick to the contract. I love being an independent contractor on a podcast. You can't hand, I don't hand a script out. When they be like, oh, Stead, I love that interview. Where'd you learn those questions? Or where did you write them questions at? I go, I don't write no questions. And I don't.
Yeah.
But if I structure, I'll take that back. But if I structure an entrepreneur, like if I'm really on some entrepreneur, then you'll see me probably do write it because I want to stick to that realm of this is strictly entrepreneurship business. And if you've seen our commercial with the Alistair Boxhill guy, he was actually on the show talking about some financial literacy and big boy education talk. And I just be like, bro, I actually love, you know what I'm saying? You love the game more. And you go, that's what made me do different days of the week, different content with different styles of guests. And we know how to, adapt to the conversation of the room. Like even tonight, I'm booking guests for this upcoming week and I'm reading bios and then I'm going to send it out to my team probably tomorrow and be like, okay, guys, this is the week schedule, whoop-de-woo. Whether you there or not, I'm going live this week strong.
Man, that's what I'm starting to get into now. This show was actually sparked by I was supposed to do someone else's show tonight, and they had to reschedule last minute, and I was like, okay, but I was bummed for like 5 seconds. I was like, what? Because
we get that now, right? You be let down now. You be pumped. You be like, they ain't never seen this energy before. I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? It's like being a boxer and you get ready to get in the ring and they go, oh, your opponent didn't make it tonight. And you're like, huh? But you already paid for the event. And it's kind of like,
yeah,
what I'm gonna do with all this free? I got too much podcast energy. I got too much boxing energy. So now it's like, hey, let's go live.
Yeah. And then I was, and then the whole, Aaron Carter thing. And but for 5 seconds, and I thought to myself, I said, well, maybe this is better because I can come on here, do my own thing. It probably happened for a reason, but I speak a lot about like consistency and stuff. So I was like, well, if I had it in my mind, there's no like I couldn't really go on with the rest of my night because I have a brand.
Would have ate you alive, and then you've been mad with another podcaster that you pay attention to or close to do it, and you go, I had it already scripted to do exactly that tonight, and I slipped on the opportunity. I don't know. It's the gift of the gab because I know we did Artistry Tuesday after finding out Takeoff had just got killed, so I opened the show with the kind of a moment of silence type of vibe, saying our condolences. But then you don't let that distract you from delivering what you got to deliver because the world still has to go on, even though we're in a grieving period. Like my mind be like, my concept of death now has really been related to the Lion King when Mufasa talks to Simba about the circle of life. And I don't say it to sound brash. I'd be like, that's a rude way of thinking, but that's just how I am now. I'd be like, it's a part of life design now. I grieve differently. Like I'm not one of those emotional crying types. I just kind of sit alone and maybe get in my feels, and then I'm like, I'm processing it and I'm hurt, but I'm hurt in a different aspect because that person was something to me. That person was vital. Takeoff, I didn't know him personally, but culture wise, like he was somebody. Aaron Carter was somebody. I was texting my cousin commenting on the post, I comment on his post, and I was like, you don't know what it was like for us during that era, because music for me defines an era of my life where either I was going through something, coming out something, because hey, I'm a person with spina bifida, born with spina bifida, so music played a big part of my healing as far as getting able to get my joints aligned, being able to get out this bed every day. I know how to set certain moods. I done got it so bad now. I will take a shower and I set a playlist every morning now for whatever my shower tunes are gonna be to just transcend my day. And I like that now. Like I like being able to move differently and not being defined by who I am. Like I love life. And that's why I'm trying to encourage people. I told my best friend, I want to start this challenge of just like learning to love yourself, trust yourself, but love life, love the people around you. because you never know when you walk out that door and you say see you later, you say goodbye, might actually be a goodbye for real.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people say, "Don't say, don't say goodbye. Say, I'll see you later" or some shit. And I seen a post you did, I think this morning. Pretty positive, inspirational quote. And I was just like, okay, but putting those positive affirmations out there, it lets people know what light you're walking in, and I think whether you say it, pray it, your posts, in the podcast, I think there's a certain protection that you and maybe we can, in closing, we kind of like close out with maybe not to maybe even Eric Carter's situation, but like say take off PNB Rock, that both those brothers, said take off, he was quiet, kept to himself, he wasn't on nothing, PNB, he wasn't really about that, but the energy that they carry, when you listen to take off music, it is that though, and
right.
And PNB, one of my favorite songs is Nowadays by PNB, but he's talking about basically he's being super bravado, and he's saying it sly, but he's testing. He has a couple of lyrics like, pull up on the block and we go, something like
he's right. Don't like I'm still that guy that can make that type of traffic move.
Yeah, he's still insinuating. I give up. Almost egging on, and then at the same time boasting. But then with the music, the frequency is at there's certain videos out there that
you get caught in these alter egos that you create. Sometimes you can't get out of the lifestyle. It becomes. I think I've said it, or I'm coming to that realization. You got to be careful. They always tell you life and death is always in the power of the tongue. So if you don't, transition yourself every day on some like F the world, y'all ain't nothing. I'd rather die for mine. The ops is watching. Why would you manifest that the ops are watching? They probably weren't watching, but because you didn't put it in the atmosphere,
right?
They're watching you now.
Yeah, or almost like the, like so. When people be like, fuck the haters. Harris is drinking again. Fuck the haters. But it's like, to my knowledge, I don't really have any haters. No one's ever.
Bingo is the vibe, right? It's a vibe.
You said never come up to me and said, like, yo, we hate it. Now, I had a mini viral clip like 2 weeks ago after we had Mark Christopher Lawrence on. This dude, Lil Kelpie. He was on No Jumper the same night. And I don't know how the fuck, but he ended up on Harris's Drinking Again after being berated and belittled by Sharp from No Jumper. And he has he was on the Soft White Underbelly. It has like over 1 million views. But he came on my podcast, and I think one of the short I put up is going on 7,000 views. And so this thing's hitting. I'm expected to be at 10K like this month, but it has like 80 something likes, but hella comments right now. People are commenting on him, but I got a couple hateful comments directed, like, and I screenshotted it, posted on my Snapchat and shit, like, because I was actually excited, and to anybody,
you changed the narrative on it, right?
Yeah, anybody that may be listening, hey, if you will, I'm not going to go back and forth. If you drop a comment, I copied and paste an actual. So I have this thing in my computer. It's called the hater response, and it's pretty much. I'm gonna every time someone say, because and shout out to you, man, Sweaty Do-Rag or some shit, but he had to watch the whole interview because he was like very detailed, calling me a bozo and like repeating words that I was telling Kelpie and telling I was a dick rider and all this shit. But I just responded as like, thanks for watching. Harris is Drinking Again goes live every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Whoop-de-whoop. So I'm, but because I know that energy though. A lot of YouTubers would be like, yo, fuck you. Blah, blah, blah. You know,
We know the clout moves. We would know it. You feed into it, it goes more viral just because you gave it energy. We
but
know what it's about.
but I gotta be able to sleep at night, right? And I can't sleep at night if I'm using my platform and I know that I really said some petty, spiteful shit. I'd rather just, hey, because as you know, thanks for tuning in, and I state, you know, I reiterate the time I go live, and you let them know that, like, dude, your fucking comment ain't phasing me. Like, thank you. Like,
Thank you. Know, that's me, right? That's what I say on my show. I'd be like, I need the hate. Like, the hate, I say, because in order for you to hate it, you still got to watch it. You still got to memorize it. You know what I'm saying? You have to build some sort of synopsis of why you hate it so badly. Like, you either hate it because that particular guest, you wish you could have been, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you hate it because you wish this was you. Ultimately, be the goal of this is what you ultimately wanted to do with your life, but you didn't have the balls to step up to a mic and press record. So now you're gonna bash great leading podcast. I think you're a phenomenal podcast host. You're very structured and you are sensitive to certain audiences type of ear structure. You know what I'm saying? Even when we got into the topic about homophobia and all these type of things, you was very selective about how you approached it. And you was like, I just ain't gonna let my son be exposed to it and become that. And I was like, now that's a man trying to be a leader, not a follower.
yeah, and I appreciate it. You know, and that's I had a few people come back in the on that dude's comment and say that exact thing. Like one guy was like, dude, he's like, this guy's doing something. Are you a content creator? Are you promoting anything? A lot of people are too quick to jump on this person, but it's like I'm not gonna. I don't know nothing about cars, so I'm not gonna go over to your house and be like, bro, you're fucking fixing that alternator wrong. The
Right.
screw goes there. I'm gonna sit back and just assume you know what you're doing, and you know I might hand you a rag, bro. You know, here you go. You know what I mean? But yeah.
I might be a guy that might want to put gas in the tank after you're done and be like, want to go for a ride?
Yeah, man. But I, you know, as much as I do have a little bit of shock jock in me, you know, I'm very cynical in my personality. I'm into dark humor. I'm a natural rebel, a natural outcast. I'm anti-establishment.
And that's okay. And that's great. See, you're publicly, openly honest about your characteristics.
Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah. I don't believe in marriage. There's like a lot of, so that's another reason why I wanted to do this thing here is to get all those points across, but at the same time, the ones who stick around long enough, you know, it's what's in the core, you know, what's in my core, what's in my heart. It's like all that extra stuff is people can have their opinions about stuff, but you know, actions, you know, it comes down to actions and the people around you, you know, that see what you're trying to do and then give other people a platform to speak their mind as well.
I agree with you on it. And I think that's just the common ground goal, right? It's like being the nerd that was always bullied by the football jocks. And then you realize over the years the football jocks are now not doing nothing. Like they're pushing buggies at the grocery store or some sort of store, and you might be $1 billion tycoon and you don't laugh at them. You be like, hey bro, you want to make some more money? I'd be like, I'm that type of guy. Like, but I picked at you when we was in high school. That's high school. Everybody goes through that experience. What you did to me only motivates me to still be better than you in a nutshell.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Um, oh, I want to ask you too before you know we close out. How was your interview with Tommy Chong? I listened to a little bit of it as it was going on, and I loved what I was hearing. The part where I chimed in, he was describing, you know, what appeared to me. He was explaining like a like he was getting very deep. But I kind
And
of
he was right. He was breaking down life, and then he broke down the Lord's prayer and all that. And I'm just sitting there like, I just let him do him. Like you don't interrupt somebody that's dropping jewels like that. And then he goes, man, I think I'm talking too much. I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't talking enough. Because what he was sharing with me, I resonated with it because I do that in my own studies, or I understand and I can connect with what he was talking about. So I was like, this was like talking to like that uncle you haven't heard from in a while. I looked at him as like a big uncle to me, and I was like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, everybody was like, you gotta ask him about Up and Smoke and this and that. But if you really study Tommy Chong to know how the relationship between him and Chi is right now, that ain't something I felt like he wanted to publicly get into. Now, if he talked about it off camera, that's just between me and him. But I don't think I want to. I don't never try to take that route with a particular prestigious guest. Is to go the controversial route. Be like, you gotta go, and then be like, well, you can't be a content creator. Yes, you can. It's called respecting their mind. You know what I'm saying? And now, again, I love to say, now, if you talk about it on the show and we walk further into it and you still kind of on that same cool vibe, then by all means, I feel like it's an open door policy. But if you put your hand up or if you say, okay, let's move on to another topic, or what does your audience want to know, then I know that's your signal of you don't want to get into that publicly. So I'll never make you publicly admit to things, but it was phenomenal. Like, I enjoyed it. It was just like, it took me back to the one I did when I was first getting the gift of gab, and I had Leland Sklar on. It was just like talking to Leland Sklar. And for those who don't know, if you know the Bee Gees, he was one of the guitarists that was affiliated with the Bee Gees back in the day. So, you know what I'm saying? Having somebody like Tommy Chong was just ultimately, again, it puts me in that learner's chair instead of that, hosting chair. Just sit back and just learn.
You definitely say that was like a milestone in your
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Something you can almost sit back and, again, a service. Like you're taking yourself out of, like, why do we want who they want? Well, he has interesting guests. This week Tommy Chong's on, and it's like, here's this man of this industry dropping a wealth of knowledge. Larry Hank,
right.
Christopher's like, I'm sitting back and he's talking about open mics and George Carlin and Lenny Bruce, and I'm like, you can't, very few people are getting this. This is that service, and myself, I'm at this point, you spoke about respect. There's a fine line. I feel, I honestly thought when I first started this podcast, this journey 11 months ago, that I would be more reckless, and I would actually, because I got kicked off Instagram for a little bit, multiple times, but then with the account I have now, they suspended me for 2 weeks, like a year ago, for just talking. Like, just, I would go live, for just doing, before I had the stuff.
People got to learn that too. The same one that Mark, who owns Facebook, also owns Instagram.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It becomes weird beings. I don't know what this big side. I feel like the more they powerful they become, the more they have to silence the voices. Now, like you kind of walk away from the structure that you ultimately did it for. You did it for the little people. You didn't do it for tycoons. You didn't do it for the yacht club. You did it for us little people to be able to reenact with family members, classmates, whoop de woo, whatever. That's what it was. And now, because we have opinions now y'all want to focus on an opinion. And now it's a minuscule opinion. It's not even, you know what I'm saying, that big of a deal if you really want to talk issues of the world,
Right. Yeah. Especially when you have, like, I had less than 100 followers at this point when I experienced it the first time, and I was like, what? I didn't think that was I thought that
as
was
a micro influencer, right? I said the same thing. I'm like, why are you coming from me as a micro influencer?
like a mini micro, like a fucking, like a gnat, not even a fly. It's a little
right
fruit fly, just buzzing around trying to get a little taste of some nectar, and but I thought I would be a lot more reckless, but then upon doing it, like I said a few minutes ago, I started to realize the power that comes with the microphone, but in the ability of, I do care about other people, but it's more so for my protection also, bro. Like, some of the stuff that I know or I believe I know or
Mm-hmm.
we went into on this show has gotten motherfuckers, taken up out of here. And
Respect. So I know you right. So you dial it back just a smidge.
I mean,
Not so much that you're gonna give up your own morals and values, but you dial it back to protect your peace.
it's fucked up, but yeah. And also because as I'm building it, you want to be open enough to attract people in, get your core, get your beehive, your Barbies or whatever, your core. And then, but along the way, I don't know, I just realized that this podcasting, this entertainment shit is like small. Like once you get into this thing, I just realized that, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't say I really think that Puff Daddy had something to do with Notorious B.I.G. dying. And I think 50 Cent's right that he might be half a fruit, because one day I might be in a situation where Revolt, I have something with Revolt. Hey, I like what you're doing with DJ Steady. But these statements that you made, off the cuff Saturday night, like I just don't want to also say something because you never know who you're going to run into on the top. Is also
Right.
thing, and then word spreads, but at the same time, it's like I can't be ultimately silenced, and I want to be one of those guys that like I said, even I text you in the message, I put on my story, we going in on the white boy. I said, man, we smoking on Backstreet packs, because and that's another thing. Everyone's over here, right, smoking Tuka, right? It's cool when black motherfucker dies, right? But how many cats is gonna go in on this white boy fucking drug addict, alleged pedophile, alleged rapist? So we smoking on the Aaron Carter pack. I got some Aaron Carter pre-rolls, the white edition, and smoking on the Backstreet blunt and all that. So I want the freedom to say that and just like show that other side. Not at the same time.
Exactly. Because again, the whole sole purpose of selling it is to bring in your audience. Of course, I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you what may be mistaken as a ignorant, disrespectful. That's the way you perceived it. But then somebody on the right hand side, like me, that perceived me like, "Yo, that's the dopest way to draw me into your show tonight."
Yep. Yeah. And and I'm ready for whatever smoke comes with that. And part of the responsibility,
and then we'll go come to the show, right? Don't keyboard bang with me. Set a date. And you know what I'm saying? Set a date. I'll be like, we're gonna make. Hey, how you think pay-per-view matches and UFCs get set for doing the same identical thing? I'll make it a pay-per-view. Hey, y'all want to come see? Harris is drinking again. Go against user XYZ over these backlashes of the last show, and then I have my editor, highlight some clips.
That's right. We smoking that Backstreet pack. We got them AC rolls.
You feel me? Because we larger than life.
Yeah.
Because you parents just don't understand. You feel me?
We on them. I got those Aaron Carter corner cut papers. Oh man, we smoking that good Carter Kush tonight, baby. And he's out of here. And and I'm ready, I think too, say like if someone was like, oh man, why are you going in this? It's like, I want to be able to bring up, my, again, same thing that man's doing. He's asking the question, why is it okay? Like, why do you profit off of when one of us dies, but we can't say shit about y'all? He's making them prove his exact point, man. And I love what's going on, but
right. It's that non-person of color privilege that they love to say now.
Yeah, small hats in the building.
You did all day, baby.
Man. But what else is going on? Anything else we need to address? The crazy thing is every time I get off a show or something, I'm like, Oh, I should have. Damn, I should have thought. Oh, I should.
Right? You get a million more thoughts of things you want to process that you try to
just,
fit into your 60 to 120 something minutes. And you're like,
yeah,
I should have said that. And then you be like, how long for my next show? And then you got, oh, I got a guest for this show. So we can't talk about it on this particular show. But
right,
that's okay. Like Thursday night rants, I feel like can be that night. Like that's my who they want Wednesday type of night, right? Even if we have a guest, I'm like, that has to be like my wild and out episode show
right,
where you'd be like, what is the most outrageous thing? Like, because now that I know how to structure my content, I'll be like, so what makes you who they want? Like, what makes the people attract to you? Like, that's what I want people to be like, what is who they want? I'm like, it's an attraction. I want it to be like the ultimate attraction. Like, what are you attracted to in life? I'm who they want because of all the things people told me growing up I couldn't be. You know, I'm who they want because, you know, you thought as a person with a disability that I couldn't be an educated person. You thought I couldn't have a podcast 2 to 3 years in the game. You know what I'm saying? I love taking on personal challenges for myself. I love fighting with my health or fighting with my body. Be like, all right, they're gonna be a lazy day because I just want to play my blue sticker card. But then you're like, you're a CEO, you're a content creator. We don't take breaks. We're gonna defy the odds. You're gonna get up, you're gonna get dressed. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make these type of moves and you're gonna enjoy life. So that's where the positivity, like you spoke about earlier, like me speaking positive, be like, at any moment, you feel me? I don't know when my last show could be. Just me personally speaking. It ain't got nothing to do with who coming after me. It's about knowing the statistics of who I am, but I'm not defined by that because I believe in the divine powers that be. I believe I have a purpose to last longer. I don't feel like my purpose is fulfilled yet.
right. Yeah, yeah. And I think there's a lot. I don't know. My belief is, obviously we don't know when we're gonna die, but I think there's a lot to that, bro. If you don't feel like you're missing, you know the old saying, shit, you know, yeah, grandmamas and shit. I don't know if this was a white person thing or maybe it's a black person thing too. Um, they used to say, even if I used to hear my grandma say this, even if I didn't have nothing to do, go in your closet and take everything out and just put everything back. Whatever that saying,
Right.
like you should never not have nothing to do because that's when you will die. Like that's when you don't have a mission or a purpose, no matter how little it is. Make your bed. You know,
Right.
find,
Don't leave no free time periods to rest.
right.
That rest leads to that. And that's why they be like, they were so peaceful in their home. Cause be like, look at when Angela Lansbury goes, be like, this woman was in her 90s, bro. She finally took a day to rest. She wasn't trying to solve no murder she wrote mystery that day. She was trying to just chill. And she went home.
Yeah. I feel like if man, but yeah, when people live with purpose, or you can live with too much purpose,
Right?
and
Overdriven by purpose.
like
And
like Mr.
yeah.
Machiavelli, I feel, bro, he, you know, whatever. Let me just say this 1 second. Whatever. There's so many conspiracies about Pac, but I truly believe that it was orchestrated from a very, very high up, just based on the whole CIA Black Panther thing. And I fuck with John Patash's theory. There's a book called The War on Tupac and the Black Panthers by John Patash.
Right.
And he breaks that shit down like a motherfucker. I believe that theory over any of these other people on Vlad or anything. But he was a man that, you know, they say like, man, Pac died when he was 25, but he did so much so fast. Like he just, and his mouth, his actions, you know, even like Mr. White down there in Fort Worth, you know, he's speaking like I mean, he knows what it is, but he's convicted. Like he lives by his conviction. So he knows that if that could happen, but you know, he's living with his purpose. I don't know, man.
Right. No, I mean it becomes that, right? And he becomes that type of guy that will speak on it because he'd be like, bro, I already know at any moment. He'll tell you, I know they're gonna kill me. I know they're gonna take me. I know what will gonna happen to me. Same thing, Pocket said. Oh, I know they watching me. I know they coming. I know a lot of these, if you listen to the subliminals, be like, I already know. You could just watch how emotional Orlando just broke down in a little clip. Like people, when people can, when you can, and when you can feel the energy shift around you, you can feel these auras just drawing your life force away from you. You know what I'm saying? It's like walking down, like you see the mob movies where they're in a train station, and then it goes from being like a crowd of 100,000 to 5 people coming out of the shadows, and you're like, oh crap, I'm the last one standing. You get that look over your shoulder type of vibe. I feel like you do feel that sensation of like when you're too close to it.
Yeah. I think when you're living with your purpose, like maybe even Nipsey, for example, a lot of the people like to go to like, man, why was he? There's so many things. Why? But maybe because his true, when you listen to his mind and his purpose, he was there in that community. Maybe he felt he couldn't be touched. Maybe he knew he could, but like to him, being grounded every day and just being like at his store, at his work, like it don't matter, I feel maybe that was something there, just in people in general, when you're moving with a purpose, your death isn't really, you're not tripping on your death like other people are, but you're kind of,
you embrace it, right? It becomes more of a embracement of it becomes that I'm a vessel now, and I know I'm preparing for this. Like I know I can't take none of this with me, so just make sure my son has this, make sure my daughters have that, make sure my mom's got this if she's still alive, make sure it becomes, now I'm storing, I'm in my harvest, of, I know what I'm preparing for. Like I know it's coming. Don't cry for me, you know what I'm saying? Like don't cry, but don't be, because I'm okay. Like I'm okay with it. I've accepted it.
do you think your personality, are you more the type that's going to stay reserved to play the game until you get to the point that you believe you're at, where you could be like going off and fuck you, or are you the type that's like fuck you on the way up, and then maybe get to a point, get humbled, and then
Right? I think I'm more of the humble in the end. Like I was a humble dude, like right? Like my spirit will either be like, because I have had those brash moments, right? I played cocky roles and be like that, but then ultimately I'm like, bro, ain't nobody on that. I just had it in with a guy last night on social media. He was trying to make me believe I knew who he was, and he's throwing out all these names that I didn't identify. And it was just like, he's like, bro, I'm in Tampa and I just need you to, send me $20 to get a lift. And he's like, you remember that time I scratched your back, or I did this for you and I helped? So I figured this to be the one time I asked you for one in a favor. And I'm like, bro, you talking all this cold. I don't know nothing about, and I didn't know the dude, right? So he's forever trying to bring up, then he brought up, we was with that white woman and what color? And I'm like, oh, you said I was with a white woman. Everybody know my particular, branch of people. You ain't never seen that in my circle. So it was like, I laughed, but I told dude respectfully, I said, bro, I said, only thing I'm offering is prayer. I said, because everybody's struggling. And I was like, I'm nobody's ATM. So I was like, that whole thing. And I said, I like to talk like on some mob. I was like, and all that you talking, I said, I don't even be in traffic making noise that you talking about was being made. That ain't me. And then I was like, then he kept saying, little bro. And I'm like, bro, I'm older than you, which I am. And then he finally realized after I was like, bruh, wrong dude. Then he go, my bad. I was meant to message whoop de whoop. And I was like, see how you just getting caught up on some. I play gangster, but then I was like, you know what, bro? Peace and blessings to you.
Man, even the fact that, man, brothers is out there like that, like, man, if I don't got your number, bro, if I'm not sure, that's, I might, I think that's Steady's own number. Oh, wrong, no, or wrong number. Okay, that's it. Ain't no fucking, cats be weird out here, man.
Because I'm big on catchphrases or code words. If I know a particular slang or something you traditionally will like, I might message you and be like, Harry's drinking again. And you be like, that's code for I know it's podcast moves. We trying to talk business. You know what I'm saying? my latest thing now, I'll be like, it ain't me. If I don't put I'm so who they want on it, that ain't me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I create these little tags now. I'm like, that's the way I move now in my peace zones. I was like, you don't really vibe with me. If you can bring up something, if you still on high school stead or you still on the stead from yesterday, I'll be like, I ain't that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that guy. But man, you was just I changed. I move with time. I change differently. Like my vibe is different. I'm like your boy again, like your boy said on Paid in Full. I breathe different now. I move different now. I think differently now. I'm not waiting. Well, last week's show probably one of my best attributes, but to me it was goated because hey, the views was there, the love was there, the energy was there. This week gonna be better. I always approach it differently.
Yeah.
I don't want to never leave a sour taste in nobody's mouth, regardless of whatever move I make. I always want to make sure you felt some sort of joy and love from me.
Right. Yeah, that's important, man. Like, because word travels, and you want people to feel. One of the things we've been asking our guests before they go is, well, Ray. So me and Ray are developing this thing, and Ray asks him, like, so tell me one thing before you get out of here. Did you have a good time? And then I hit him with then I'll ask him like, hey, and also before you go, man, can you give us a drop? This is so and so from Harris Drink It Again, and that's been our thing so far. But
I love that you're building something, right? You're getting that visionary podcast visionary eye. So yeah, you can do that now.
Yeah, and it's beautiful, man, because I got all these ideas and now I can act them out, talk them out. Shout out to the chat, Chino Boy up in the building, one of our artists, man, here in
shout out to the fam.
Lake City. If you're still in the building, man, drop a fire emoji, man, Chino Boy. And because we're trying to like this whole network, and these cats go hard, but I'm trying to build this thing to where I can send possibly Chino Boy your way one day, or we could start people putting people on, and really just
bridging that gap. Exactly, right?
And like I said, I want to get some Tallahassee artists on the show or whoever.
I'll make it. You feel me? We can make that happen, bro. That's no problem. I'm all for that, right? It's all about showing love back, right? And being humble by the experience. It's an experience. If you don't do podcasts as a guest for nothing else, do it for just the experience.
Yeah, man, and it's a hell of an experience, man. Shit, going up on 3 hours here. I could stay on this motherfucker all night, man. This it's just amazing, man. And then I go back and then the ability to do the stories when I clip it, so I'll get something, a jewel you drop, and it's powerful, man. Those little shorts,
right?
Those
changes the culture. Powerful. It changes the culture now, right? It draws them in because now you got to see the full episode and be like, oh, that's what they was talking. Like it amazes me, right? When I get phone call like our Sunday dinner with the fam, and they go, so I caught that show last week. Y'all brought up some good points. How often do you do this? Or I didn't know you think like that. And it'd be like, you know me. I learned it from y'all tutelage. It'll be like, this is just me paying it forward of what you taught me over the years. No, I'm not going to give away the true game of it, but I'm just going to let you know, like, I pay attention.
Yeah, man. People, they be watching, even if, that's what me and Ray talk about. They're like, bro, people are paying attention, even if they're not subscribing or liking, they're like, they'll see the story. They know what's up. And it's almost like a lot of people don't want to hop on. I think a lot of friends and family, and it's weird. A lot of people speak about that. Like they kind of support, but not.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I know. And it's you'd think it was the other way around, but I think one day everyone's gonna come around, especially when they see it, whatever vision in the other person's head, because they're not putting in the work. They're just looking for some monetary form, or for you to buy a chain, or for you to buy this is Who They Want Studios warehouse fucking hey, now steady, fucking
right now you can call me by steady. You ain't call me by steady my entire career. I've been Steadman to you, but today I'm DJ Steady. Back away. Thank you. Exit the building.
Auntie so and so, boy, I knew you was gonna be something. You're like, I ain't seen you since 9 years old.
Right? That cliche, right? You're like, you see me at 9. I don't even remember seeing you at 9. I know you're lying.
But shout out to those family members and and people that just and I think because we give them hope, man. A lot of people that they don't step up, in the way that they can, and so sometimes they sit back and they wait for somebody to blow, man. And
For sure.
I feel like if we got to be the ones for our people, then that's why I'm really moved to do this whole move right here, bro. I feel so comfortable, and even when I feel uncomfortable, I just I sit in the uncomfortableness, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep going. But no one else is doing this,
It becomes a mental therapy for me when it's those uncomfortable days, right? It becoming like people pick up on my synergy enough to be like, okay, Steady, you ain't smile tonight, or you ain't doing your usual, there's certain things I'll do that you would think people wouldn't catch it on. They'd be like, oh, I haven't seen you give no input on the entire show. Like you haven't ad-libbed the entire show. And then they'll be like, what's wrong, Steady? And then I'll do that old thing of, nothing, I'm good, I'm straight, woo. And then after a while, I'll finally come out my show. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm really frustrated about this because I got this inbox about this, or I saw this post about that. And I'm just so angry by it. I don't really know how to approach it because I'm more of that pacifist type. Like I don't really get into the altercations of things. I'm more of a don't really get into it. Like you spoke, like mob boss. Like I grew up on those Tony Montana laws. Like I feel like I'm too high. I'm too here, not too above people, but I'm just at a plateau where I don't think that should bring me out of my character to stoop to that level to entertain that ignorance.
Right. That's man, you're spot on with that. Let's go ahead and wrap up here. I want to do this. So I'm going to make this a separate clip. I'm going to promote your stuff here in a little clip, and then I'm going to ask you a question, and then let's wrap up with the Aaron Carter, whatever. And
bro,
get you on your way. I know it's probably 11 over there, midnight.
It's after 12 here, right? And then time goes back to night, so I have to relive one of these hours over again.
Hey, that's right. Oh, we get an hour's sleep. I remember that. I forgot, and I just remembered, bro. So I'm not even tripping. So it's really only 9 o'clock. Oh, shit. All right. Oh, it's fucking might be a 4-hour show, but if you don't want to stay here with us the whole time, I get it. This has been amazing, man. Can you see the screen here? So I see. I've typed in who they want podcast, duck, duck, go. You know how we do over here. Not that it matters. They know everything we're fucking looking at. But so ladies and gentlemen, this man DJ Steady, you can find him on all these platforms here: Apple, Podbean, Spreaker, iHeart, YouTube, iHeart again, Audrey, Audible. Oh, that's not enough for you? Let's go down. Anchor FM, Podcast Addict, Audible.
Everywhere, baby. Everywhere.
Literally everywhere. Bro, Radio Public. I've never even heard of Radio Public, but you're there.
Damn. I put in the work. I told you I'm a workhorse, man.
Damn. And it just goes and it goes and it goes. So that's what I want the people to see. Who they want podcast. Entertainment LLC. Motherfucker, get it right. Goddamn. You go by the CEO or the owner? Or,
it depends on like the occasions, right? If it's like an anniversary type of vibe, or if I just want to sit and feel big, and it'd be like it's CEO Steady, right? I'd be telling my friends when they call me now, I'd be like, you have to address me as Mr. CEO now. Like you have to address me as Mr. Who They Want when you call me.
That's beautiful, man. But you got the ability to do that. And that's
right.
That's what this whole mission is about. So go check out Who They Want on all platforms. A quick, let's see if there's any updates. We want motherfucking, goddamn, we want off. Thank you. See if there's any updates before we get out of here, because motherfucker, as soon as we get off, they're gonna make like a big thing tonight or whatever in the morning. But apparently there's 39 minutes ago. Yeah, they ain't gonna say shit today.
Exactly. Right.
They're getting the story ready, for the official thing. But Aaron Carter, member of the Backstreet Boys, dead at 34. We're smoking on the Aaron Carter pack tonight. Salute, rest in peace. And niggas die every day, B.
It's tough, right? Cameron's voice.
I mean, hey, he got the face tats and he's living that life. Hey, I don't really feel bad at all. When
I know what you're saying, right? When you set yourself up for it, you ask for these things to happen to you.
I sit here and I've spoken like hell about all the drugs and this and this. I've reached a point where I feel like I'm over it, this and that. I seen a certain path and I was able to maybe, hey, I might have a relapse one day too. I'm not saying, but if that's what the case is, I know the media is going to try to spin that. But steady, man. I've enjoyed this show, bro, and I'm thankful to make this connection, and I look at you as almost like like my guy I can go to, on matters like these, and kind of offset what me and my co-hosts do, just because you bring that energy.
And vice versa. I feel like I'm vice versa with it, bro. It's just that type of pick that brain, who's going to give you that engaging conversation and then give you a different outlook. And then we can share each other's outlooks, right? And I love that. I'm humble and I'm always welcome. And, you platform doors is always open, man. We're going to look out. You know what I'm saying? We're going to forever be dropping people. Might want to hop in on Thursday night shows, but I ain't got no show on Thursday night. I would just send me a message, give me a call, whatever you want to do. Steady, I'll do the same thing to you, bro. I feel like we need to get more of these topics addressed like this. Like a Saturday night like tonight, 3 hours long, was worth it to vent, to get it all addressed. Yeah, let's do this more often, bro.
Man, yeah, absolutely, bro. And it's beautiful because like I say, it's presenting different content, different outlooks on things. Let's end with some before I take another hit of this Carter Kush. This shit fire, bro.
You dig?
Backstreet back. All right. Hey, I know ain't nobody giving shit, but I when I clip this up, I hope I offend somebody. I hope.
Right. Look forward to it now.
Oh, I do. R.I.P. Paul Walker too. Hold on. Who are the R.I.P. Mac Miller? Who are some of the white boys that have died in the last couple years? Lil Peep,
Mac Miller.
I mean, Paul Walker's a G. He's not in the equation of these fucking lowlives that we're mentioning. But who's that battle rapper that just got stabbed? Pete Nice or Pat Nice?
Right. DJ Abasil.
Hey man, see, Wiggins die every day too, B. So and the jokey joke thing is that death isn't a joke because nobody can escape it. We never know when it's gonna come for us. And on the same, it's all fun and games. But
rest in peace, Cameron Boyce.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Alpo. All the other cats. What would you say? Okay, going into 2023, closing out the year. The culture. And I'm going to say urban culture. Now blacks. I'm over there in Florida. Y'all got Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. We got Mexicans over here on the West Coast, but they're included in the urban, like they're, so
Exactly.
just culture, this hip hop, this when we speak about the culture, going forward with the man situation, yay, yay. Shout out Ice Cube. With the yay, and everything that we're facing, what let's leave in a positive. What can the culture do? What are our initial steps in 2023 to get better, to unite? Is it this, just simply being open, speaking, venting, positive posts, put down?
I'm gonna take a page from my man Shaquille O'Neal. I think it should be more of a drop that pride, pick up that phone, and be able to work out your issues, right? I feel like there should be, instead of grabbing your gun, you should grab that phone and then be like, arrange that sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to hash this out. Order you some boxing gloves. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you should try just some sort of manageable approach and be like, all right, bro, round. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in that backyard wrestling, backyard fight. Like, we're gonna really fight. You feel me? And I feel like you should be able to hatch it out, and if that don't work, I feel like you should just stay to yourself. Don't just lock yourself away, like, so you can come out of that element.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe disconnect from myself, bro. If I'm not posting about my business or about the show, I don't fucking post. I don't give a shit
at all, right? Nothing else. I'm not getting into. I don't feed into that now, right? I'll tell you quick.
Nothing.
I don't want to get in because I don't want. I tell people now, I don't want to contribute to the suicidal rates, the homicidal rates, just on me giving it a laugh or me being like, ha, you know what I'm saying? That ain't me. Respectfully, I'll hit you up and be like, hey, I like what you posted, or I felt some type of way about it. Can I use it as a topic and get other people? I've learned how to shift the narrative and make it for content purposes. And then I'll give you some of my perspective, be like, if you need help, you can always reach out to me. Everything, I don't do it for the clout, the glitz, the glamour. I do it because I care for people. Like, I care for humanity now.
Yeah. And I've kind of contradicted myself on these because I'm half for the clout, but I'm in that.
But I don't see so more of a saying it as a monetary gain. I see you saying I know where I went wrong at, because you can, you know what I'm saying? Your accountability to you means everything. You're allowed to be like, I do it because it was a viral moment, but from a content perspective, it was like,
yeah,
I see what people feed off of, right? It becomes that
from an entertainer, like that saying, the show must go on, like, and like,
yeah.
As soon as you press that button, it's up.
It's up there. It's up there. You signed your clause. You already know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah. Early on, I had a young lady on, and it was late, going on the back end of a 4-hour show. Fucking her boyfriend comes out, starts tripping. And I put that in my next week's clip, and I put up in the title, like, jealous boyfriend. I did a whole funny shit around it, but I texted her the next morning, like, hey, I did this. Hope you don't mind. She was like, nah, like,
because she could have muted, right? She could have muted. She could have clicked off. There's ways you can handle. So at that point, it becomes free use of content.
Yeah. But she just knew me. Luckily, she knew me. But I feel like I'm down to defend that. So there's a certain. I don't know if I would dead ass apologize unless I just literally. I mean, I'm not gonna do a half ass. If I'm sincere, that's me being sincere.
You assess it, and then you become a real man about it. Like, I love the unapologetic approach, right? It's the I stand 10 toes down, live and will die for this type of mentality that you have, and I respect it. I wouldn't tell you to change it. I wouldn't tell, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not, I don't feel like you're doing nothing that's making me cause, as a listener and a creator, be like, I don't think you're doing nothing that's causing bodily harm or injury to anywhere. I just feel like you speaking the truth is what's keeping, John from beating Sarah tonight. You speaking on tonight's event is what's making Mike put down the bottle of pills he was just about to swallow. Like, I feel like it becomes that. It comes out harsh, but that's just, again, it's all about perception.
Yeah. I consider myself a disruptor. I mean, all the great, people, like I said, I have a little shock jock in me, and I like to take that role, though. I like to take that approach. But when we end it and round it out, it's all love. It's all peace and love and continued growth. And one thing I will say is, like, no man is ever done growing or learning. So you cannot fault one man for one thing he does, in it, or says rather, actions, some fucked up actions that I don't think you can forgive. Maybe that's who you are, but
Fact check.
Words and maybe, I shouldn't have said this at this time. I mean, those are growing stages, just growing stages. So, man, going forward, like for me in 23, if I would answer kind of my own long-winded question on some positivity, I would say, melanated people, keep the foot on the neck of the small hats. Keep there's a movement going on right now, bro, with Charleston, with just the people that I'm seeing. There's a movement. People are tired of the BS. They're tired of it. All this gang, murder, kill. It's really not in.
New activists are emerging. The new era Malcolm X is coming.
There's this fucking wave bubbling, and it's like, so people just keep your mind on that. Recognize bullshit when you see the bullshit, and let's put our heads down and just like continue to fight for the freedom of speech.
Facts.
Harry's drinking again. God damn it.
Love it.
Man. So, all right, brother. I think shit, man. We done put in some work. Any other plugs? Anything? The floor is yours.
I absolutely appreciate it again. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all check out Harris's Drinking Again. You feel me? He's going to be on all platforms to come to, because I got big plans for the bro. You feel me? We're going to make some moves. You know what I'm saying? Also, y'all can check me out again on Podbean, Spotify, the endless list of digital platforms. I'm there. Follow me on Facebook, Who They Want Podcast, Who They Want Entertainment LLC. Follow me. That's all I'm asking for, people. Just share the wealth of love and positivity and just continue to love one another. This is Mr. Who They Want. You get the DJ Khaled of podcast. Who They Want did. You dig?
All right. That was beautiful, my brother. Well, the DJ Khaled of podcast, my man. All right, brother. Hey, thanks for making this happen. We'll be in touch on the back end, and I'm gonna have some clips over to you this week. All
right.
If not tonight, but this week.
I got you.
All right, man. DJ Steady, Who They Want, representing Tallahassee, Florida, man. Up in the building. All right, my dog.
All right, broski.
You have a good night.
You too.
All right, bro. Man. And that's how we get down on the Harris's Drinking Again podcast. I drink my whiskey out of a cup, not a flask. How high I am, you might ask. I don't know. I didn't pass. I kept on hitting like it was ass. I had a tank full of gas. Enterprise car. Never stop and rent. 'Cause I'm not going far. But I see a tent. I might have to take some lint off my coat before I vent. Thursday night, here it went. Talking about the Aaron Carter shit. Resting in peace or resting in piss. I don't really know. All of us is gonna get our day one time soon. Hopefully it's not mine. Hopefully it's not by noon. Ooh, who is you? Once again, Harry, too scary. I might never be getting married before I get buried in the cemetery. Man, I don't give a fuck though, man. You can burn me up, man. Cremation. Anyway, shout out to y'all motherfuckers. Off the Cuff Show. Once again, go check out Who They Want Podcast. Just type it in. Just type motherfucker. Oh, where do you listen to it at? Oh, I like that guy that you had on the show. Where do I go listen to it, man? Motherfucker, type in Who They Want. Fuck. The clips are everywhere. DJ Steady. I mean, fuck. It's not hard. I had somebody ask me that the other day, like, just after I posted a story, all the shit's in the story, it's on the screen. You watch the thing and you're still gonna ask me what time. You can't make that shit up. The time, what do you mean what time? It fucking says right there in the fucking story that you just watched, Harris is drinking again. TNR, 41, 9 p.m. It's unbelievable, guys. You know, we gotta do better as a people. And all that good shit. Shout out to Brother Ray. Tapped in for a minute. Me and Steady rocking out on this one. Where's my shit? Shout out to Source Jedi, Chino Boy. Man, we're gonna play a Chino Boy track before we get out of here. Fuck that. I'm gonna send it to him. Harry's drinking again. It's one of my favorites.
Hey.
Yeah. Chino Boy, prove it. Up on YouTube.
Yeah, my niggas pull up to your block, bitch. Yeah, they call me Chino. I came with a chopstick. Don't fuck with 12. Don't fuck with no cops, bitch. Trying to act hard, little bitch, better stop it. He got a gun, but he ain't finna shoot it. Said he gon' kill me, little bitch, come and do it. They know I'm about it, I ain't gotta prove it. We run through your crib like a blitz and we loot it. Me and my niggas pull up to your block, bitch. Yeah, they call me Chino, I came with a chopstick. Don't fuck with 12, don't fuck with no cops, bitch. Trying to act hard, little bitch, better stop it. He got a gun, but he ain't finna shoot it. Said he gon' kill me, little bitch, come and do it. They know I'm about it, I ain't gotta prove it. We run through your crib like a blitz and we loot. They say I don't really do it, all that shit that's in my music, I'ma just leave them all clueless, cause they don't want me to prove it. Me and my niggas don't shoot shit, yeah, that little bitch won't do shit. Got some shooters, yeah, they whoopin'. We take shots, but we ain't hoopin'. Fuck the cops and niggas stupid. Fuck the opposites, Ruger Doom. Boxes chop, bitch, we ain't dookin'. Body dropping, then we zooming. Hey, cause I got a stick on me. Bad bitch, she tryna lick on me. Chino chillin' with big OGs. None of y'all niggas got shit on me. 600, that's big homie. 116, that's been my streets. I got niggas that'll kill for me like bow, buckle up his knees. Bitch ass nigga tripped on his jeans. This clock hot and it came with a beam. Talking tough from behind the screen and now we letting these hollows scream. My niggas pull up to your block, bitch. Yeah, they call me Chino. I came
smoking on that Backstreet pack.
Don't fuck with 12, don't fuck with no cops, bitch. Trying to act hard, little bitch, better stop it. He He got a gun, but he ain't finna shoot it. Said he gon' kill me, little bitch, come and do it. They know I'm about it, I ain't gotta prove it. We run through your crib like a blitz and we loot it. Me and my niggas pull up to your block, bitch. Yeah, they call me Chino, I came with a chopstick. Don't fuck with 12, don't fuck with no cops, bitch. Trying to act hard, little bitch, better stop it.
If that wasn't hard, man, y'all don't know what the fuck hard is, man. Go fucking run that shit up, man. Chino boy, prove it. So many good ones, man. This motherfucker got a catalog, man.
She let my mother with my style, yeah, my voice and my smile. By the way, she all up on me, she gon' stay for a while.
I forgot it was time change tonight. Shit. It's early, baby. We getting an hour of sleep.
Say it's my fault, say I'm the bad one. Took my time and held it for ransom. I need my heart back, I don't have one. I want you for one night and then done. Now it's fuck love, cause I don't need it. I stay fucked up, like every weekend. Say that you want me, like why you reaching? Say that you love me and then I'm leaving. Got no heart, I need it back. This fuck love don't get attached, baby. I'm just getting high, baby. I'm just getting cash. Why you trying to make me laugh? You ain't getting shit, relax. I'm the bitch I never spend. I'm just trying to watch it. Say it's my fault, say I'm the bad one. Took my time and held it for ransom. I need my heart back, I don't have one.
Let me play one of my other favorites here. What's this munch, man? This motherfucking war in my head. Oh, this shit's fire. This shit fire. Yo, we getting in trouble tonight. Fuck it. Harris is drinking again, baby. Harry's drinking again. Off the cuff Saturday night edition, baby. Salute, salute.
I'm still in pain, can't play pretend. Still I try to find myself, but I can't hide that I'm in hell. It's in my mind, can someone help? Still I lie and say I'm well. Now she's got me stuck in my mind, contemplate every night, writing in a chapter to the page of my life. Struck my heart with a knife, I ignored every sign. So baby, tell me why you play with my emotions when I told you that I was already broken. Grab a bottle, chase with pills, now I'm hopeless. Every night I'm stuck, battling psychosis. Still I try
that shit
to find myself.
Get the fuck out of here.
Say I'm well. Now she's got me stuck in my mind, contemplate every night, writing in a chapter to the page of my life. Struck my heart with a knife, I ignored every sign. So baby, tell me why you play with my emotions when I told you that I was already broken. Grab a bottle, chase with pills, now I'm hopeless. Every night I'm stuck, battling psychosis. Still I try to find myself, but I can't hide that I'm in hell. It's in my mind, can someone help? Still I lie and say I'm well. I'm well. I'm well. I'm all alone, I don't got friends, I'm losing hope. I'm all alone, I don't got friends, I don't want love, I want revenge.
Wow. I love that fucking hook, man. God damn. All right, man. Oh shit! All right, now.
Bitch, you stay on go. Hey, you stay on go. Know what the fuck it is? Yeah. Hey, my niggas with the action, he on go.
Let's pour up another little sipper here, just a little. Shit, we get another hour extra sleep. Don't forget to set your clocks back if you still got an old school alarm clock.
Steady yapping like a hoe. Bitch, I ain't with the captain, we on go. My nigga with the action, he on fold. Pussy always talking, yeah, he win the toe. He acting tough, he just an actor. Talking that shit, me got faster. We wet him up, just like a pastor. Yeah, we make your house a bloody disaster. Why you just steady yapping like a hoe? Bitch, I ain't with the captain, we on go. My nigga with the action, he on fold. Pussy always talking, yeah, he win the toe. He acting tough, he just an actor. Talking that shit, me got faster. We wet him up, just like a pastor. Yeah, we make your house a bloody disaster. Hey, if they don't fuck with me, niggas, fuck them. I got these hoes, just pray that you duck them. I need like 10 bitches, I never cut them. Fuck the chopper, bitch, I run up and cut them. Fuck the drive by, we finna gut them. Fuck all these bitches, but I never love them. Fuck some diamonds, nigga, you better tuck them. Said he got 2 chains, nigga, run. Bitch, I'm a demon, I don't feel pain. I'm through hell, I don't feel sane. You a bitch, nigga, we not the same. You a snitch, bitch, you don't get claims. Fuck you and whatever you claim. Fuck you and your mom and your gang. Fuck you and you watching your chain. Fuck you, nigga, that's on my grave. Why you just steady yapping like a hoe? Bitch, I ain't with the captain, we on go. My nigga with the action, he on fold. Pussy always talking, yeah, he win the toe. He acting tough, he just an actor. Talking that shit, me got faster. We wet him up, just like a bastard. Yeah, we make your house a bloody disaster. Why you just steady yapping like a hoe? Bitch, I ain't with the captain, we on go. My nigga with the action, he on fold. Pussy always talking, yeah, he win the toe.
That shit go hard. That shit go hard. All the shit goes hard. Where's my other shit though? Where's my other shit though? Here we go. Here we go. With this other little evil motherfucker.
Hey, cutthroat.
Little evil motherfuckers.
Kick through your front door. Got the gun, but the knife more fun though. Smoking on endo. Paranoid, gotta look through the window. Keep an extendo. You don't like me, the fuck you pretend for. I got murder on my mind. We finna catch a homicide. We cruising through your hood that night. Got silver mixed with cyanide. These demons all up in my mind. You don't wanna meet my evil side. We pull up, leave you traumatized. We angels, but on demon time. I don't need no shooter, got the Ruger all up in my pocket. Rocket, we gon' pop it for a pussy nigga talking. Hey, pull up in the black Cadillac, with the black Mac and the black mask and the backpack. Hey man, where the fuck strap at? I'm using pistols cause we cash back. I'm a running nigga with a stash shit. Run through your crib, make a fast buck. Late night, all black, we masked up. With the click out the sticks and we strapped up. Pussy boy talking shit, better back up. And we got extra clips if you act up. Bitch, I got all my demons for backup. Yeah, we get to the guap and we stack up. He ain't really about shit, he just act tough. Ay, this shit is too much. I be stoned as fuck, I got some Medusa. I don't give 2 fucks. Can't stand my old bitch, so I got another one. You don't like me, but bitch, I'm still breathing. Yeah, bitch, don't try me, don't give me a reason. Bitch, ran bullets, you fall like the season. Roll up on with the Bible, but don't read it. Hey, cutthroat, got a blade, so I don't need a gun, ho. Keep through your front door. Got the gun, but the knife more fun, though. Smoking on endo. Paranoid, gotta look through the window. Keep an extendo. You don't like me, the fuck you pretend for. I got murder on my mind. We finna catch a homicide. We cruising through your hood that night. Got silver mixed with cyanide. These demons all up in my mind. You don't wanna be my evil side. We pull up, leave you traumatized. We angels, but on demon time.
Take your bitch and slit her throat. Smiling while I bust a crumb. Murder shit right at your home. Take a hit, then puff and smoke. Popping pills, so I stay woke. Talk your shit, bitch, use a joke. That your mother, she a hoe. Hit that bitch and watch her more. Satanic thoughts in my mind. Pull up, do a homicide. Devil shit, we on the rise. Chino boy, he got the 9. Look at me right in the eyes. Torture till your ass gon' die. 666 and say it twice. Watch the devil come tonight. I'm finna hit a lick you with degenerate niggas. I hear really think that they killing it. Sucking my dick in your shot, they be licking it. All of these hoes and you know I be getting it up on the spot. I will be pipping it, I got them bars. I'm always spitting it, yo bitch I thought. Never be kissing it, I got my car. Thought I'll be ripping it.
And that's how we end in this motherfucker right there, man. just like that. Oh, shit. Been a hell of a show. Once again, shout out DJ Steady, man. Like, subscribe, call that damn number if you need help. Often to get off YouTube. Hopefully this, I don't want to, play the little Orlando Brown, Cam Capone. I'm going to go ahead and, put the thing in the, matter of fact, I'm going to do that before I get up off here. So what I'm going to do now is exit off the screen, exit stage left, play one of my other song beats over here. And we will be back this Thursday night. Now, with the time change, TNR will be back 8 p.m. We're falling back with the time change, so TNR will start being at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next Thursday. I have an episode 31 clip dropping this week, and we're going to do the damn thing. This has been an off-the-cuff edition. Harry's drinking again. Still up in the building? All right, perfect. I'll play this song here. Thank y'all. See you next week. Harry's drinking again.